So, first question, Kim. When you entered Canada with the intent to, when you crossed the national border with the intent to commit a felony, did you bring a gun or guns with you? All the guns you own are illegal for private ownership in Canada, even unless you have a license, which are licenses are very difficult for even Canadian citizens to get. To be an American trying to bring one of those guns over the border, you don't have the 6 months and the lawyers to make that happen legally. But you could take them apart and hide them inside the cases of your computers.
Ooh, I think I did. Kim has brought the Glock G17 with the 33 round mag, and the K-bar, but has not brought any other weapons.
Okay, so you have. Did you bring the other clip as well? Because the 33 thing looks ridiculous. It's like this long.
In that case, maybe just the 17, because if I have to shoot more than 17 times,
it's clearly not working.
Don't plan to fail.
All right. I presume that Dr. A has brought what the previous game termed Woodstock in a bag. So we'll assume you have access to a variety of the tools of your particular trade. Everyone else, I don't think anyone else brought anything distinctly illegal. So the presumption during the setup is that y'all drove up north in a caravan. Question.
Yeah, would I imagine I could have had to bring some burglar's tools or something. I think I would have maybe had like a couple of magic tricks, just my stuff in there if need be.
Okay. Yeah, you're an MD, and you look very prosperous and sort of boring. So you sailed right through customs. Jesse got a little more of the stink eye and was questioned a little more thoroughly, but nothing he'd not used to. So yeah, y'all have brought your stuff up north, rented an Airbnb. Jesse, I presume you made sure to get one with a backyard, right? Who's Jesse?
I am.
Okay.
Just sure, but why?
Why did I think you were Dr. A? Okay, no. Yeah, you're the one who... Yeah, you've got burglar tools, but I mean, burglar tools are basically construction tools. There's a great book called A Burglar's Guide to the City, in which the author is an architectural critic who becomes interested in burglary as, basically a critique of how rooms are meant to be used. And he got into lock sport to learn how to pick locks, and was taught how to do so by a Chicago police officer. And he's like, "Are you worried about teaching me how to pick locks?" And the cop's like, "Why would I worry about that?" He's like, "Because you're teaching me how to burgle homes." And he's like, "No housebreaker picks locks." It's like picking a lock is like doing it the stupidest, hardest, most time-consuming way. Yeah, people who break into houses don't pick locks, they force locks. It's much easier to just break a lock and get an entry that way than it is to finesse it. It's like, that's when they don't just saw through a wall. It's like, that's the best, that's the most efficient kind of burglary is, the cabinet's on the other side of this. Why would I go through the door? The door is locked. People watch the door. So it's a great book. The sections about Roofman, A+. So yeah, you've got you know, you've got lock picks, but mostly it's construction equipment that you're going to be relying. And there are locks that can be picked with vape pen gas. There are locks that can be forced with a big gulp cup that's been cut into shreds. So
Or the straw from the big gulp cup.
yeah, so
Well,
all
door
kinds.
to open it.
This is specifically
All kinds
called
of
out, I
makeshift.
notice, in my dossier as something that I might appreciate about Jesse.
The big gulp maneuver.
Yeah, the big gulp procedure.
All right. So yeah, are you gonna show up, bury your little widget in the backyard, and mutter in carny talk? Did you see that thing in the write-up, Jesse?
In the right.
The write-up?
I don't think so. I mean, am I supposed to have
ho.
like a gizmo? Oh, this is a lot. Shoot, this is a lot longer than I thought it was. I thought it was one page, but oh dang!
All right. So you
I'm very sorry.
that's
Yes.
okay. Speed read that. The basic version. Jesse's got 3 rituals, one of which involves burying an object in a backyard in order to suck up bad luck and protect him from evil vibes. One is a ritual you cast by running in a particular syncopated pattern while wearing shoes that have bottle caps from different beer brands attached to the soles, and it makes it sound like you're running in a different direction than you actually are. And then he's got a thing where he talks confusingly while waving a $20 bill, and if he gets the $20 bill to the person, they kind of get into this weird hypnotic, not remembering things straight state. So yes, he's got weird little carny magic.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I was wondering, like, you know, when I'd work out what actually happened to me at the carnival with the fire and all that, but I guess I just didn't notice the 2 or 3, 1 or 3 on the thing. Sorry.
Yeah. You and Dr. A figured out what happened, and yeah, that's been provisionally sorted. And, you know, but it kind of got you into the habit of, oh, you know, there are mystic disasters that happen, and not many people seem qualified to deal with them, and I guess I'm doing that now. And that's part of the reason that you're chasing down the giant stone head.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it. And so what I'd like to do is open the scene in front of the museum, La Musée de la Civilisation Américaine in Quebec City, known as the Civ in short. By the way, Quebec is bilingual, French and English. I've been informed that people who work in the tourist trades tend to approach it like, bonjour, hello. And if you answer them in French, they're really stoked. And if you answer them in English, I guess that's okay. And so the museum is not really huge. This is not a MoMA. This is a small, fairly specific historical museum. And it is on the edge of Battlefield Park. Now, Battlefield Park seems to be like Quebec's answer to Central Park in New York, the big public green space. It's got, in real life, a few museums here and there, as well as now this fictional one. But the fun thing about Battlefield Park is that it goes right up to the edge of a cliff. This cliff is 55 meters tall, and it's at about this angle. It's quite steep. At the bottom of the cliff, you got a thin strip of a few private homes and then some industrial areas, depending where on the cliff face you are. There's pretty much just a thin layer of that, then a road, then another thin layer of buildings, and then the St. Lawrence Seaway, this big river. So the face of the cliff, it's not quite vertical. So there's trees and scrub bushes sticking out of it all along it. But climbing it would be certainly beyond Kim's abilities. It would be tough. You would run a risk. Anybody who climbed it would run a risk of wiping out, sliding down 20 feet, maybe snapping an ankle on a loose root. But on the plus side, gorgeous view. Excuse me. So you've showed up at the museum. What time did y'all want to go in there and case the place for your impending theft?
Probably best to go during the busiest part of the day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just so they don't recognize our faces if we show up on security cameras.
I think so. Is it a weekday or a weekend?
It's a Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Well, maybe we could look.
Spring of 2017, specifically, late spring.
Do we have much lead time? Do we have much lead time on this?
Yeah, there's no hard no hard deadline. So you could be there for a month if you guys can afford to take that much time off of whatever else you got going on, wherever else you have it going on.
What if we try looking in the evening after work? How late is it open?
It's open till 8.
Let's go at 6 p.m. on Wednesday.
Okay. Give yourself a couple hours.
Sure.
That's fine with me. As long as we can get it back by September, I don't care how long we take.
All right. Yeah, is Cloissoné starting school in the fall?
I was going to say, Mom, you cannot use up my summer vacation this way.
Well, what else are you doing?
I'm hanging out with my friends. I don't understand the question.
Quebec is a beautiful city. It's full of culture. You can make plenty of new friends here. They speak French, which is very important for development.
Okay.
Last time I was in Paris, you embarrassed me terribly.
Now, that's number one, that's unfair. And number two, you embarrassed me terribly.
Yes, but I'm your mother. That's my job.
At the very least, is an equal thing. So can we let's try and get this one done maybe this week or tonight.
Listen, I'm not rushing into an international felony with my daughter. All right, we should take our time. Also, what are you wearing?
Conti,
everybody's gonna know you're an American.
I'd love to answer this question. My junk has surprisingly varied wardrobe. Period. Thanks, comma mom. Period. Which I'd love to get into.
It's good. But you are dressed like a Canadian, yes? Red flannel.
Red flannel.
Do you need a hat? You need an accessory. That's what you need.
What, like a trapper hat?
What about like a scarf?
Well, if you'd like a trapper hat, I suppose you could wear this one. That's possible.
No, Mom,
I don't know if it'd fit you. It fits me.
Oh my
this
God.
guy. Yeah, it's fur, though. It's a little bit heavy for September.
No.
You think we could? No?
What about how about a scarf?
Oh, well, I'm wearing the McQueen. Do you want the Cambrielle? You can wear the Cambrielle. I think nobody would mind that.
If you're wearing a scarf, I'll pick something else. Just let me think about it. Okay?
All right, so
I tell you what, I'll give you the McQueen scarf. I'll carry the McQueen billfold. That way we won't match, but we'll be in sync.
All right, so are the two ladies sticking together? Are the three ladies sticking together? Or how are you, or are you gonna just go in one big bifold group?
I always think it's great to split up. So
I just trust Doc to push the Medline wheelchair, so I'm gonna stick with Doc.
yeah.
All right.
I mean, if you're gonna dress like that, I'm not going with you.
The deal with Kim's legs. Kim can walk a mile if she needs to. It's mostly a matter of endurance. They atrophied. It's been a long trip. But on the plus side, her arms have never been in better shape. You've got pretty massively jacked arms,
Cool.
especially by the standards of what people expect from women.
But my thought is that Kim wants to preserve economy of motion. So if she doesn't have to walk, might as well use a chair and be seen as someone who uses a chair. And then
Right.
just in case, might not need one later, but also
Right.
less walking.
I'm
Yeah.
happy to spend the time with Kim, so I'll be pushing or just supporting.
Yeah. All right. Jesse,
Yeah.
who are you going with?
So the group is Dr. A and Kim and the other two. Okay. I'll go
Whose
for
lunch table are you going to sit at?
probably Kim and Dr. A, I think.
Yeah. Woo!
Just as well. They didn't blend. Oh, I found this in the gift shop. How about you? How about you can carry this and people think you're Canadian? What American would carry this? Nobody would.
Hmm.
That is so. No Canadian.
It's just kitschy enough.
It's a tourist thing.
All right.
I'm not going with her. I'm going on my own.
All right.
I think-
So
I
Karen's
think
by
so-
herself, Cloissoné's by herself, and the other three are clumped up. You guys got the map, right?
Yes.
All right. Where the part marked entree is the entryway. Where are you heading from there?
Okay. I'm guessing the big head we want to steal is in the Mesoamerican area, yeah?
You don't know. It is not apparently not important enough to be listed in their web presence.
I
Found in Ohio.
can't read any of these rooms, so I don't know what they are. So I think I'd like to be looking for way to break in an entrance.
Sure. Oh yeah. Well, you guys are going to be, eyeing and spying the whole way. But how are you gonna? Do you have like an agenda for what you're going to check out in what order as you wander through this small, tastefully appointed? It looks like 1990 era architectural gem.
Okay. I suppose we need to get a sense of how big the head is, what sort of aperture we could get it out of,
Oh, you know how big the head is.
and about how?
It's not quite a meter. It's 24 inches. So let's see.
European, sorry. So that's
16
2 feet,
centimeters.
is it?
Yeah, 2 feet, about 2 feet sphere. So that would be
66 centimeters.
66 centimeters, and it weighs about 600 pounds, which is, I got that in metric here somewhere.
It's just too heavy to carry, I'm guessing, so for one person.
300-ish.
Oh, yeah. 275 kilograms.
If you say it's round, does it matter if we roll it out, maybe?
I'd be worried about damaging it that way.
I mean,
Yeah,
granted,
maybe-
it's survived 3,000 years so far and is made of granite, so pretty durable, but yeah, but it does have a nose.
There's the Sphinx, yeah.
Doc, how about this autochthon des plains? Looks like Great Plains. Just thinking out loud here. Get some ideas.
It means indigenous. Well, not technically. It doesn't technically mean indigenous, but in this sense, the French are using it to mean indigenous.
Indigenous
Over the plains.
Indian Great Plains.
It means the thing that you find where it comes from. So, like, you could have an autochthonic mole, for example, because a mole appeared in the same place that you found it. But here, I think they just probably mean,
Fascinating,
Yeah. All right, so the three of you are headed towards the plains, natives of the plains exhibit. Cloissoné, where are you going off to all on your own?
Contemporary arts.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And Karen?
I'm going to wander around to see all the people in the thing. I don't really care about the big stone head. That's not my department, unless it's wearing a dress. But I'm curious to see what the docents look like, what the security guards, if there are any, look like, if there's anybody that seems in charge, and what they're wearing.
Okay, the security guards, they do not have a consistent set of shoes. They're all wearing black shoes, but different kinds of black shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But the uniform is UPS brown slacks, a UPS brown polo shirt, a name tag with the logo of a private security company on it, and then a big belt with gun, pepper spray, flashlight, and zip ties.
Okay, and what's the name of the security company?
I gotta make that up. I'm gonna
Okay.
steal one from William Gibson. Intense Secure.
Intense Secure.
Hmm.
Fantastic. All right. Do they wear hats? Do they have hats?
No hats.
Any accessories, rings, watches, necklaces?
Well, I mean, people are wearing rings and
Okay.
watches, but they are
So
not
they are allowed.
company issue. Yeah,
Very good. And the
All
shoes
right.
are not consistent.
right.
Fair enough. That's easy.
Mesoamerique is Mesoamerican stuff, and it looks like this is where the gold is. There are some impressive masks and statuettes of, bats and, a goddess with corn growing out of her forehead. So that stuff, you're thinking, Jesse's instinct is this is where the security is going to be centered, because this stuff is obviously valuable. It has an established resale black market. Push comes to shove, you can melt it down and it's gold. And this stuff is small enough to be theftable. So the enclosures, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen these. The boxes they're in are pressurized, and there's a pressure detector. So if the glass is breached, it will start outgassing, and the barometer will set off an alarm. That's on top of the cameras. Surprisingly, there isn't a camera in the Mesoamerican room, but there are cameras that you can see will cover every approach to it. You, Karen, do see one person who is dressed in a way that you're like, that's a curious choice. And I'm gonna see if I can. I tried to upload a photo earlier, but you know what? It doesn't seem to be working. So let me pull that up quick. This person is tall and wearing a tracksuit and has the hood up, and it's a deep hood, so you really can't see their face. And you can tell from the stitching and construction that this is a Nike tracksuit, specifically a 2015 Nike tracksuit. But but the embroidered swoosh logos have been picked out with a seam ripper.
Yeah, that's pretty common actually, for a certain class, if you like, because you want people to know that you're rich, but you don't want to be ostentatious about it. So you make it a little bit of a puzzle. So something I like to do by wearing just old enough to be outside of memory. We're about an 11-year-old vintage item, 11-year-old designer item. I mean, especially the young people, they won't know what it is, but they know that it's expensive. It makes them guess. Plus, it's a lot cheaper.
This doesn't seem to be that as their shoes. The shoes are cheap and ratty.
Yeah.
They could really black tennis shoes. You think that they're Converse All Stars, but again, all the trade dress has been picked off.
Yeah, so
And they are standing in 20th century, gazing motionless at the World War II section.
any specific item?
It is a uniform of the Canadian Expeditionary Forces.
Got it. I'll approach them and just stand next to them, staring at the same thing to see if there's anything I can pick out about it that might be especially interesting. Like
They
a name
kinda-
tag or a rank or...
Nothing that rings a bell. The person turns their head towards you and then wordlessly turns back and
Hello.
takes a couple steps down.
Can I see their face when they turn towards me?
Yeah.
Is it Just a regular face?
Yeah, it's either a delicately featured man or a coarsely featured woman.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
I'll take a couple side steps, casually in their direction and see if they continue to
Edge away.
edge away or not. Until it's awkward.
Well, and the person points at the plaque and, World War II, a dark period in our world, in Canada's history. Why do they always use dark as a synonym for evil, I ask you, or as a synonym for harmful?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I don't know that it was a dark period overall. I mean, there were many happy things about the period, though I will say that the Canadian Expeditionary Forces, they did not make their people look the best. They did not make them look as well as they could. Now, you say what you like about the Nazis, but Hugo Boss knew how to dress a man. Take your outfit, for example, and I'll just, I'll kind of like finger the material of the fabric. Like this. Mass-produced, yes. Generic, yes. But stylish. You don't have to sacrifice style for ease of production.
I don't really concern myself with style. I believe that a lot of what we waste our attention on is pointless, especially in this modern world.
You are completely correct, but that's not what style is. Style is about what lives between you and the rest of the world. It's your interface. It's like saying a computer keyboard is pointless. A computer keyboard isn't pointless. A computer keyboard is very important if you want to interface with a computer. Unless it's one of those touch screens, whatever. Let's take what you're wearing, for example, though. You've clearly made some very specific choices. And what a lovely choice that is. What you look like tells you so much about you and tells me so much about you.
What does it tell you?
Well, you like to think that you're above consumerism and capitalism, but you swim in it like a fish swims in the water. Like a fish can't ever be completely dry. Can never be completely free of your world influences.
That's a rather dispiriting thought.
Well, your shoes were made by children in Vietnam. We probably make pennies on the dollar. Your shirt's made from rayon, jacket. Your jacket's made from rayon. I mean, which is made from dead dinosaurs. So it comes out of the ground, which means that you're supporting the international oil trade when you purchase and wear it. Everything you wear is tied into everything else. Fashion is a global industry. So unless you killed an animal and skin it yourself, and even then, if you only do that with your bare hands, and even then, if it's an animal that's indigenous to your local region, and you snuck up on it yourself and didn't pay anybody to help you hunt it, engaging in fashion is engaging in commerce, is engaging in industry, is engaging with the wide web of the world.
So I only know one person who has a disengaged garment. Interesting to know.
Oh,
It's just an associate. And it's just the one.
Yeah. There's very few people. I don't know any. I don't know anything that isn't paid for in blood in some way or another. Even this hat I'm wearing. It is a Canadian hat, but was, it's from farmed fur. It's a despicably evil industry. And yet here we are.
And yet here we are.
And even if you bought that secondhand, the secondhand clothing industry or the third-hand clothing industry is a massive, monstrous global industry. And whether it's goodwill, which ties into what some people would call better natures, but really isn't. Usually it's a scam. Or whether you bought it retail, it makes no difference whatsoever. Though I do appreciate the modifications you made. That does show a nice individual style. And it tells me that you're not just a drone. You're a drone plus. Where did you get this, by the way? And I finger the sleeve again. Where did you get this, by the way? It is lovely.
New Mexico.
Ah, excellent. Buffalo Exchange?
No, J.C. Penney.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
Look, they can't all be winners.
Now I've disappointed you.
A little. But you know what? We all have to start somewhere. That's okay.
All right, so you're talking off their ear. They seem a little bemused.
I'm
Garment
also
tag.
tagging the garment and
Yeah. Give me the
so
roll.
last season.
So you're going to see important things from their past?
From the garment's past.
From the garment's past. I'm trying to think what might be an important moment.
So an 08 on So Last Season, and on the tag, a 28.
Okay, yeah. So you've got a sense of it. Nothing really emotionally important has happened to this garment. The closest you get is a scene where this woman is holding the person, and the person is just gently pushing her back, saying, no, that's a part of my life that has been very difficult to disengage from. You deserve someone who is going to want you without qualifications, and that can never be me.
What's the woman wearing?
The woman is wearing a pair of shiny tight pants and high heels and a kind of loose blouse that's really low cut in the back.
Oh, well, you were better off there anyway. I just mutter that, and then I step away.
I beg your pardon.
Hmm?
All right. We'll move on to the three in Natives of the Plains. So it's got a pretty good, it's a broad and necessarily shallow collection about Great Plains natives. It mentions the mound builder culture, which is where the head came from, and mentions that the head is on display outside on the terrace. It is referred to as the head of the bone setter of days and years. So the first person who actually sees it is Cloissoné, who is, let me show you on the map here. So this wall out onto the terrace is all tinted tempered glass. There's a door here and a door here. The terrace is a grassy area open to the sky. And the head is on a 4-foot tall plinth, right about there. So you get there and you see this couple looking at it, and the man is extremely tall and thick and has a beard and a scowl, and this thin slip of a woman is standing next to him. And he's like, I don't see what the big deal is. And she's like, well, I think that the big deal of it is probably not something you see. And he just glares at her and says, you're just talking in circles now. She's like, I'm sorry. So yeah, you found the head. Woo!
I think I'd like to approach and say something like just under my breath, but just loud enough that maybe the man will hear it. Just like disaffected teenager, like, I don't get it.
He looks over at you, looks at, at your face, down to your feet, back up to your face, and the expression on his expression is pure, unvarnished contempt.
Ooh, millennials.
Millennials indeed.
So yeah, I just put his picture in the him and her. And the woman's like, well, it's 3,000 years old, And he's like, you've told me how old it is.
What does being old even have to do with anything?
Well, he looks at you, he's like, this is a museum of history.
Yeah, and I went to the contemporary art section.
It's through there. He jerks his thumb behind him and, kind of pointedly turns his back on you. And, and the woman just sort of fawns at his arm.
Oh, interesting. I'm going to slink away to the contemporary art, but if they move to somewhere else, I'd like to see if I can secretly tail them.
Okay, yeah, there is the contemporary art has, it looks like, the section that the most people are in, it looks like it's artwork done in the medium of tinfoil.
Oh, I love it.
And
Your
then
hat.
there is a section of indigenous artists who are covering like contemporary scenes and subjects in indigenous styles. So that's pretty hit or miss. The three of you heading to the terrace.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's where the
Well,
thing we need to pinch is.
If I see them wandering that way, I will wander this way as well.
Okay.
Even though, are any of you dressed Canadian at all, or are you all screamingly American?
I'm dressed American.
Okay. I'm dressed kind of like an American, probably a bit more American tourist. I've got a long sleeve jacket and probably a baseball cap, which I might have bought from another museum. Just something that helps cover the face a bit. And
Jesse, look, I don't mean any offense, but a trucker cap, really? Is that necessary? Do you think? Could have gone with something that doesn't scream.
Grief
I am
with
from
a
the States.
mesh bag.
Just
As the now four of you are getting to the door, you see this couple in front of you, and the man kind of sees you coming and stops and pulls the door open and holds it for Kim's wheelchair with a flourish.
Oh,
And so
very
this-
much do not acknowledge that.
What?
Very much do not acknowledge that. Just keep looking ahead.
And the woman who's with him he's got some style. He is wearing an actual ascot, along with his sheepskin jacket and high end but understated jeans. The woman looks entirely suburban mom. Huge purse, high-waisted pants, twin sets, and wow, enough to prompt a facial tick, huh? Okay.
look.
So
Some of us have gifts, some of us don't. It's okay.
Dr. A, as you're pushing the wheelchair and the woman's sort of getting out of your way, the side of her purse kind of pulses. As if it's got like a small animal inside. Or maybe it didn't. It could have just been a trick of the light.
I'll turn to her and say, "Bonjour."
Bonjour à toi. Her accent is terrible.
Anglais?
Oh yes, thank God.
I
I've
couldn't.
never been.
Sorry.
I took French in high school, but that was a while back.
Oh, no worries. We're all. I think we're all tourists here.
Well, it does make sense that if you were a native, would you go to this museum? I suppose you would, but probably like once in junior high.
Some of us just enjoy culture. Isn't that right, Cloissoné?
Oh, am I there?
No,
I
Cloissoné's not there. The dude with
She'd
the
agree, I'm sure.
jacket, turns. He's like, Kelly, it's here. And she's like, oh yeah, yep, that's a big ol' head. He's like, it could be nothing else. Behold the visage of the history of civilization itself.
This is Volpo speaking.
This is Volpo speaking, and he's just staring at the head and clearly delighted to see it. And he's like circling it and staring and leaning in and avidly reading the little plaque.
Is it naked? Is the head naked?
Yeah.
Huh?
pointless.
Well, I mean, it's from
Right.
here up, so it's not wearing a hat. But yeah, it is an undecorated, unclad.
No
no
jewelry.
earrings, no nothing.
Nope.
I have two thoughts for Kim. The first one is when looking at the head, I'm going to stare into its eyes. Does anything flicker in the eyes? Like this is the one that I saw, but does it see me or is it just a head?
It seems to be dormant right now.
Hmm.
But you're sure, you're like, that's the one. That is for sure the head to which I owe this debt.
I mean, yeah. I'd like to watch Volpo maybe notice or secrecy, and I want to see, does he get it, or is he just fascinated by this thing? What is that? Can I tell it what the
You
roll?
don't need to. You don't need to roll. Volpo is not in any way concealing his reaction. He's, you can't read his mind, but he's like, oh, I must commune with this staff of permanence rising proudly around out of the sea of transience that is our petty lives. And the big guy with the little woman is just like, see, I told you he'd get this way about it. And she's like, I never said that he wouldn't, hon. He's like, because I was right, and you'd be stupid to say I was wrong.
So Kim's jealous, but also like, oh, rival operators, they're a team. Great.
Kim is jealous of.
Kim is jealous of Volpo, but Volpo clearly he's macking on the head. Kim
Okay. Funny you should say that, because he's like, it's like I must commune with it in a more primal fashion. He's clawing at his neck cloth, pulls that off, pulls off his jacket, and starts.
No, sir.
A couple.
Put a hand on him. Nope.
Sir, that is deeply inappropriate. Let me hold that jacket for you. That is deeply inappropriate.
Calm yourself, my fair maiden. I am not intending to become
Either?
fully au naturel. And yet, I do feel that to fully appreciate this artifact, I should let my skin breathe. And he's like unbuttoning his there's just chest hair everywhere. It's down to like, he's got like 5 or 6 buttons undone.
This is a good time to check. Is there a guard in the terrace room?
There are now 2 guards in the terrace.
I'm just gonna signal them.
And, one of them comes over. Oh, French.
Roll.
Point to.
Is this gentleman bothering you, sir?
Uh-huh.
Is this gentleman bothering you, ma'am?
Ma'am, and yes.
Terribly, sure, sir. Can you please clothe yourself? And he's like, I beg your pardon. Are you now policing my garments?
I'm straight up stealing his garment if he hasn't already noticed. I took that jacket he dropped and it has disappeared in my voluminous Canadian flannels.
Oh, well, no, he looks over to it. He's like, very well. Civilization is the art of compromise, even with one's lessers. And he like holds out his hand expectantly for his jacket.
Sure. I'm just giving it the once over. I'm actually looking at like the stitching and checking the pockets. It's a very interesting piece. Where did you get this piece?
Oh,
history.
I have a man in my hometown who makes my garments for you. This is a complete lie. This thing is mass produced, but he is passing it off as a unique piece.
You're from Hanoi. I had no idea. You look so very American. So I have it in my hand. I might as well try walk a mile in his moccasins, just for fun. Which intuits one of his passions.
Oh, all right.
Because why not? And I biffed the roll. Wait, it's my obsession, right?
Of course. It would
so
have
then
to be.
I flip the roll and I make it 81. I flip it to
all right.
19.
Let me pull up Count Volpo's passions. He's a very passionate man. He is, let's see, so you don't get to pick which one you see, do you?
The GM.
The GM
determines
picks
which one we
whatever
get.
is most interesting to me. He is not gonna take it well if you do what he perceives as disrespecting him. He definitely sees himself as being among the elite. And that Hanoi crack was, you put your thumb right on the spot that hurts.
Yeah, figured. Anybody that's going to lie about where their obviously mass-produced off-the-rack shirt is made or jacket is made. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Penny, Mr. J.C. Penny. I apologize. I must have gotten it completely wrong.
He snatches it out of your hand and doesn't even speak, just makes this little wave like, be gone, be gone. He's like, pulls something out of the pocket, shows it to the security guard. He's like, it is rosemary and white sage. May I please spread some around as a sign of my appreciation of the spiritual entity that this head represents? And they're like, and they kind of exchange looks, and one of them gives this very Gallic shrug, and he's like, thank you, and starts making a circle in herbs around the head. And he gets down on all fours to do this. He is like crawling around the head, and the big guy with the little woman is just kind of, just snickering, and the little woman looks worried, and the gal in mom jeans just looks embarrassed.
I'm sorry, are you with him? I say to the woman in mom jeans.
With is a strong word. We're on the same tour.
Oh. Are you also from Hanoi?
No, we're not from Hanoi. We're from New Mexico. Why would you think we're from Hanoi?
Well, he said the jacket was made for him by somebody in his hometown. The jacket said made in Vietnam. And Hanoi just seemed like a good guess. I suppose it could be Ho Chi Minh City.
Maybe he was confused about the jacket.
Oh.
I don't know.
It was not going to stand for the line of herbs being laid around this very important and mystical statue. So I think what she's going to do is wheel up to Volpo and be like, having picked up that he was very flourishing, open the door, be like, I'm allergic. Can you stop?
I fear I'm almost done, he says, and, does the last little bit. I'm terribly sorry. I had no idea that I would be disaccommodating you. But we are out in the open air. I would think it would be a simple matter for you to move away.
Okay, that's knocking on me a little bit. I think what I want to do here, do I want to make a roll? I think I'm just going to stop, look at him, and be like, just, what are you doing?
So you're asking this, how are you asking this? Like accusingly?
I'm going to ask it, I'm thinking like in a connect way of like, I know why this is important. I can tell that you know why this is important. Are you going to own up to it, or are you going to lie to my face? Like I want to push and see how you're going to.
So you want, okay. What he says is, he's like, I feel that this artifact is immensely meaningful and portentous, and I am attempting to align myself with its energies at the same time that I demonstrate that I am in alignment with its values and what it represents for the course of history. Give me that connect roll.
Yeah. So 92. And I don't think. Well, does my rage, passion of pity, and contempt play in? Like I don't like the way the guy's treating me. No.
He's, as near as you can tell, he is completely sincere in what he's saying.
Right. They'll keep the bail. 92.
Okay. See something here. So he kind of looks at you and raises an eyebrow, and he's like, "You're not really allergic, are you? You have some sort of connection to this artifact, don't you?"
Using share. I improvise. It belongs in a museum where it is right now for everybody, not weirdos in fleece.
I take exception to weirdo. I believe that weirdo is an insult coined by those with an ignorant and narrow belief in normalcy. Normalcy has been eroded. There is no such animal.
Let's see.
And I would point out that it is in a museum and that we are all enjoying it in public.
Well, there's no else to push for now. Well, I don't like these herbs. I'm gonna roll the chair away and attempt to break the circle while rolling away.
And he's like, and he looks over at the big tall guy, and the big tall guy just is like, it's like, you were asking for it, man. You and your weeds. He's like, oh, shut up. Stalks away, looking cross and disappointed.
Oh my.
So yeah, you've got talking to anyone there?
Okay. So just to clarify, we've got a second head, the big golden one, and the big stone one we're here for, and a second.
The big stone one you're here for. There were some masks in the Mesoamerican, but you wouldn't qualify them as big stone heads.
All right. Okay.
Let me pop up something in the chat, which is the map as annotated by Jesse.
Ooh, okay.
There we go. So what you got there, the location of the head. The edge of the terrace looks straight out over the St. Lawrence Seaway and the cliff. There's like a 4-foot stone wall.
So I just need to re-download it.
All right. Anything else y'all are gonna do while you're there?
Take a look at the head in case I want to see, like, is there any indication of rain damage to it? Because there's always a chance they might just put it into storage overnight.
Nothing that you can really tell. No, I mean, it looks like it is stone and monumental enough that erosion is not going to be a concern. It's got a little bit of, it's got some bird stains on it, but nothing you wouldn't expect from public statuary.
We're near closing, right?
Well, you've been there for like probably an hour 15. So yeah,
So
they'll be
near-ish
closing in like 45.
I would like to see if the guards leave in their uniforms or if they change first.
Okay. Yeah, so you'll have to hang around till close. I mean, they're not going to have any guards shift and an hour before closing.
Of course not.
So you're just...
So, oh, sorry.
Sorry, did we see whether a camera overlooks the terrace or not?
There's no camera on the terrace.
Okay.
That's handy. Okay.
But it looks like there is one by the cafe door on the map. Between the guard booth and the cafe, there's a camera coverage. Is that correct?
Okay, so the cafe, the only door by the cafe is the one into the dumpster zone there. Cafe's set up a little weird. You can't get from the inside cafe to the outside cafe, but they serve coffee on both sides. So you can walk up to the cafe and get a drink without having to come into the museum and pay museum admission.
Is the bistro the same way?
The bistro is entirely outside. It looks to you like they have that installed, but that it's probably being rented out or sublet to, some restaurant entrepreneur.
Hmm.
How big is the head relative to the doors of this place?
Oh, it would fit through.
How big is the head in general?
It would fit through any of them. I mean, 2 feet wide, any door you can get that through. You might need to have it on. You're looking at it, you're thinking that, you're going to need some kind of hand cart, hand truck, dolly, something like that.
Wheelchair.
Yeah.
No
Okay,
way.
right.
Your wheelchair is not rated for 600 pounds.
Oh, it is light.
You would put it in and the wheels would just, it would tear right through the base of it. It would
Heavy
wreck
duty
it.
wheelchair.
A wheelchair that can handle 600 pounds is a pretty rare and expensive beast. A dolly that can handle 600 pounds, you can pick up at any
You
hardware
can
store.
rent from a U-Haul.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I guess before we leave or before the museum closes, I've been on the trail of this head for a while. And this is the first time I'm seeing it in person, right? Like
It's
or
definitely the
an
same
actual
face that is on all those other artistic depictions, the Egyptian one, the medieval European one, the mysterious one from Texas. It's all the same guy.
So I do think that this is, I mean, I knew this was happening, but I think this is kind of blowing my mind, and just the connections are coming together. And so while this guy, Volpo, is kind of fuming about his circle being broken, I am just going to get up as close to it as I can and really either inspect or try and, I don't know, it's not enclosed. Like I could actually touch it.
You could touch it. Well, there's a little sign saying, please do not touch the head, but you could.
I mean, I'm going to circle it inside the now broken herb ring, and when I'm, moderately outside of the guards' view or behind the heads between me and them, I'm gonna just
lick it?
Just lay hands on it.
Oh, okay.
If you lick it, it's yours. That's the rules.
Yeah, that is true.
It to you feels unusually warm, like body temperature. Maybe that's just because it's been sitting in the sun all day. Or maybe there is an occult current of energy running through it. You don't know.
Probably number 2.
Is there any... Sorry. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, is there any security on it, like, aside from it being like 600 pounds and therefore difficult to carry away, like a pressure sensor?
You don't think so?
I mean, I'm just imagining that bit from like the start of Raiders of the Lost Ark, like we lifted up and we need like a 600-pound bag of sand.
That's a lot of sand, buddy.
Tim, what are you wearing right now?
What is Kim wearing right now? Not fatigues, as tempting as that picture is. Kim is wearing a Wednesday in the summer. Kim is wearing a comfortable jeans and Doc Martens and a vaguely Canadian flannel shirt that she put on with a shrug. No hat.
I mean, it's a start. I have a thought, Kim. Just a moment. And I reach into my carry-on and I pull out a kind of a loud checked scarf and a ridiculous hat. What do I have here? All right, this scarf would do something like this, like almost like a circus scarf.
Right.
And a fez. Let's say a fez. I just happen to have a fez on. Why not?
Okay.
I'm not wearing this.
I need you. All right. How about a Stetson? You want a Stetson? You can wear a Stetson. It's made in Canada. Before the factory moved to Mexico,
I will accept a Stetson, not a fist.
Beaver, fine. Wear the Stetson. Doesn't matter. As long as you're wearing something ostentatious. And this ridiculous
Do I
circus scarf.
wear it now or
No,
later?
now. I need you to do this now. I need you to make a scene about the handicapped bathrooms. Or something. I don't know. Or about maybe the I don't know, something wheelchairy. Do something wheelchairy so you're memorable. You're memorable as the person in the dumbest scarf in the wheelchair.
All right, you're putting it in terms I can understand at least, but
Good.
all right, I'm gonna swallow my pride on this one. I will take the steps in the check.
Just do that for a while. And just make sure that management recognizes you and the security guards recognize you.
All right.
All right. While wheeling out, one thing I'm wondering, do I need any information while Kim is in the museum? Can I glance at the camera? What do I need to know to hypothetically be able to access these feeds later with my gear?
Yeah. These are not set up for remote viewing. It's an air-gapped, closed-circuit, wire-based system.
Okay. So
to mess with these, you need to physically paw at them and, get at the ports in the back and open the casing up.
Got it.
So yeah, you cannot remotely access these. The good news is that probably means there's not a lot that people can't check this on their phone from off-site just out of curiosity. It's going to be the guards who are present.
Okay.
And, maybe you're like, yeah, it would make a lot of sense. If you were going to wire it up, you would also probably send it through fiber optic or even just over phone lines to an off-site monitoring station. But in your guess would be the only people who are going to be watching this closely are the guards who are in the guard booth.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, but probably never mind actors. Okay, well then, with that in mind, I will, Kim's going to enormously sigh with the check scarf and the Stetson and roll in the direction of the bathrooms by the Poland's Français and the souvenirs and honestly skim them. How accessible are they? Check the weapons room, see whether or not there is stall access, and if not, be ready to.
The access is pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect. This was a building built in 1990, but they've retrofitted
Not perfect.
it.
That's all you need. Any little thing. Just make a scene.
Right. Then while next to the souvenirs bathroom, I'm going to attempt to wave down a guard and enormously Americanly be like, "Is this ADA compliant?"
I beg your pardon, madam.
I want to be sure that this is a public building. Is this covered by the ADA?
The Americans with Disabilities Act is
This
an
is the American Museum, isn't it?
It is a Canadian museum, madam.
About America.
We have made every attempt to keep the accessibility levels high. Is there something in specific that has disaccommodated you?
Sir, can you tell me what the relevant disability law is in Canada, or do you even know?
Give me a moment. Why don't I get someone from the management and you can speak with them and express your concerns. I'm sure they will be very interested.
I would appreciate that.
Please just wait
Here's
here.
what we're going to have to do. We're going to be here for a couple of weeks, all right? I need you to help me source enough fabric to recreate that scarf and that hat big enough for the big stone head.
Well, at least one of you's got a plan. So, all right.
And so Kim is going to come in here every day and make some dumb bullshit complaint to management. Every day.
Kim's like,
All right.
wait, Kim's going to do what?
She's going to be escorted out every time by us because she's going to get all fighty and American. We're going to have to be like, no, it's okay. We're sorry. She's very upset. Every day for a week. And then the last day, put in the hat and the scarf on the head. So wheeling it right out of here. It's a foolproof plan. Nobody will stop us.
What about those suspicious assholes who look like they're going to steal the head tonight?
Oh, well, that's not my problem.
No, it's Time out. It is our those guys, we're clearly on a timer with them. I haven't even said yes yet to make a scene every day. We have to talk about that. But those guys
No,
are clearly on a
you're
timer.
wearing the scarf. You have to. You're the only one that can do it now.
What do you mean I have to?
Well, none of the rest of us are in a wheelchair. So we can't plausibly wheel ourselves out of the museum like we'd wheel ahead of the museum. So it has to be you. And you're wearing the scarf already. Somebody else can't come in wearing the same scarf tomorrow. It won't work.
That's unusual.
Let's rewind a little. What?
Yeah. Just.
Look, Kim and the head look close enough the same that if I put the hat and the scarf on the head, what? All anybody looks at is the clothes you wear. They don't care about your faces. That guard won't recognize your face tomorrow. He'll go home tonight speaking to his wife or husband and won't be able to describe you, but he will be able to say that person was wearing a circus scarf and a fedora. And the fedora looked like a very expensive beaver felt pelt Stetson.
What does Volpo and everyone feel like overhearing us talk about this in the terrace?
Presumably, I'm hoping you wait to discuss your plans until a more reasonable. And they're having their own. It looks like the big guy and Volpo are entering like round 12 of an ongoing bicker fit. And
look how dysfunctional they are. We can't be that. We have to work together. Now,
the fluttery
Cloissoné,
little woman is trying to make peace. Man-Steel yells at her. Yeah. You overhear his name. It's Man-Steel.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
But Cloissoné, I'm going to need you to source a hat block big enough for that stone head and enough beaver felt for us to be able to make it. It's not a big deal. We can do it. We just need the time. And we'll need a steamer. And then I can probably pick up the fabric for the patchwork scarf because that looks pretty normal. But the hat block and the felt, the beaver felt, is on you. I'll need to ride to the fabric store in the morning.
I say, so do you have a better plan? Because I'm not sure.
Kim,
I suppose we could throw an accessory in, like
maybe just
earring or a necklace, maybe.
I think we've had pretty good luck. Jesse and I have had pretty good luck in the past with a kind of more routine. Let's go with B&E style liberation of these artifacts.
I was thinking we just get just for the wall that's next to the cliff. Is there part of it that's next to the actual level? Because I was thinking we just set up a ramp, roll the thing over, and then just pick it up on the other side.
Well, on the other side of the terrace is a 55-meter extremely steep cliff covered with trees. So if you roll
all the way around,
if you roll that off there, it's going to become an uncontrolled force of destruction that is probably going to wind up in somebody's living room, or smashing itself to pieces, careening between heads.
Well, I hate to do this, but otherwise we're going to have to need a helicopter, and I don't know how to do that.
I'm just
the other for moving it.
So I'm just tempted by imagining. I'm tempted by imagining like setting up like a pinball like slides just for the thing to go down.
The Masada solution.
That would be difficult to do undetected.
Yeah.
Right here, so the face of the cliff kind of follows along here and then comes along here. There's another low wall and like a cyclone fence on the other side here, and this is all parking lot.
What do you mean cyclone fence?
Chain link.
So
it's about 10 feet tall, 3 meters.
I'm thinking what kind of, if we did want to lower it down, what kind of heavy machinery block and tackle system would we need?
Theoretically, and I'm not ruling out the scarf yet, but theoretically, if we had, do they make over 55-meter long ropes? Could we wrap it up tightly and sort of like guide it down? Well, no, because it would be rolling down either way. So I guess that would help much.
Yeah, it's too steep. If no one was going to see you establishing a series of braking stations,
pulleys.
Yeah.
Cloissoné, do you remember in 8th grade in the Science Olympiad?
Yes.
Your team that project where you had to drop an egg from a 10-foot height and you
Yes.
built something out of toothpicks and
Yeah, and we kicked ass, but the high schoolers won anyway. But it's not important. Yes, but the trick is that was for an egg and made out of like straws and toothpicks. I'm not
Yes.
confident of my material science.
but what's much more fragile, an egg or a 600-pound stone head? I'll say the egg is much more fragile. So really, this should be easier for you.
But the head is much heavier.
Yeah.
We can't
What's a
risk
wash?
destroying the
Have you
head.
ever heard? Sorry. Have you ever heard of zorbing?
No.
It's kind of just this thing where you get like a big plastic hamster ball filled with air, and you just wrap the head in, and we fill it with something relatively solid that could survive rolling down the hill.
Now, can somebody answer the question for me, which is why we don't just sort of take it out the door for the terrace, and then the door for the special expeditions into the emergency exit parking lot zone?
There's cameras.
There is the camera is the trick.
There's one camera.
Is there
Guru Karen and be like, Karen, thinking of how resourceful you've been about my wheelchair and the scarf, is there any sort of, she waggles her fingers, any sort of camera evading outfit you can conjure and or knit?
Oh, I mean, for me, yes. Not for the head. I can evade the cameras if you like. That's easy, but I can
And
carry that thing.
all you would need to do to disarm the cameras, you could spray them with really anything.
Yeah.
B, if you just reached up or jumped up and grabbed the wire that goes between the camera and the wall and gave that a good yank, it would go black. And probably the guards would immediately go check out why the camera went black, but it would disable the camera. Let me give you guys. Do you guys want the?
Oh, sorry.
I was going to give you all the. You talk now.
Kim, I'm going to turn and in the same tone of voice and a magic fingers say, is there any kind of thing you could do to erase the footage or replace it with other footage? I see they did that in Mission Impossible.
In Mission Impossible, yeah, no, we saw it. I don't do this. I do real stuff. I do this. Very complex hand acting. There's
I look at Kim as I was born in 1962.
Well,
I don't.
Good. Then you should know that there's no computer tricks, no fancy moves. There's no wireless access. I'd have to, I guess maybe if I went into the guard booth, but there's probably guards there. I guess I mean, how hot are we turning the dial here? I mean, we could force our way in, but I can't hack the mainframe of the.
What if the guards in the guard booth were not necessarily paying attention?
Your eyebrows are conveying so much, Doc. I love that about you. If they were distracted somehow.
Or for that matter, stoned off their gourds.
I was going to say, before we leave, I'd like to swing by the guard booth and, if possible, look inside and see if there's some kind of coffee machine or maker or bottle of antacids or locker system where people would hold personal pharmaceuticals.
Give me a secrecy.
13.
Okay. Yeah, they really prefer that the museum guests don't hang around the guard nerve center checking out every little thing, but you're able to get a pretty good look by, you know, pretending you're taking a selfie with a picture.
They've been busy with a lot of kind of random randos.
Yeah, you can
weirdos.
kind of angle your camera so that the lens is facing over your shoulder in there, and it doesn't look like you're just like checking out the cameras. So you see a lot of cups from the cafe.
Aha.
So apparently that's where they're getting their beverages. Now let me say something before you get too deep into the idea of
Drugging a bunch of people?
Yes. In movies, you stick an ether-soaked rag in someone's face and they're out until the plot finds it convenient. And in reality, it's real different. Pranking someone who is running around and resisting is difficult to do and impossible to do real safely. Inhalants take minutes to kick in. Injectables are faster, but there's a butter zone, right? And the butter zone is they pass out and they wake up okay. And on one end of the butter zone is they don't pass out. And on the other end of the butter zone is they don't wake up.
Well, the narrow therapeutic window.
To determine where the butter zone is, you need to know how tall the person you're drugging is, how much they weigh, and whether they're a smoker or not.
I mean, if we want to go drugging them, I suppose we could try hallucinogens or something instead, so they're tripping balls rather than something else. But that's similar problems, I'm guessing.
I will say that I did not picture Dr. A as a recreational drug.
Yeah, you don't have
or user.
Everything you have is prescription. There are no prescription hallucinogens. You could give them something that would make them feel like they'd had like 5 beers.
Yeah.
Or would you give them a laxative or something?
That's quite dangerous too, because you can really dehydrate somebody.
First, do no harm.
Let's see.
What if we leave the museum for now after watching to see if they...
I had assumed you guys were doing all this talk about crime back at the B&B.
Yes.
Roasting a chicken and...
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure you can get a ketamine prescription. And ketamine is a hallucinogen. And it is associated.
Put them into a K-hole. How hard could it be?
In 2017, ketamine was not approved for much except for intravenous depression.
Okay.
Which don't ask me how I know that, I guess.
Animal tranquilizer.
I'm a doctor.
You get it for horses.
Yep.
There's plenty of veterinary.
I'm not a vet.
Could I just ask, for the, on the map, I can see there's a camera between sort of exhibition specials and the 20th century exhibit.
Right.
There's a door, like a doorway on the right side. Is that covered? Does that look like it closes?
The camera covers, you could not come in that door without being seen on that camera. That door is an emergency exit. It's double doors. They are, it looks like that's also where they load exhibits in and out. So there's theoretically, you can't come in through those doors. They've got a crash bar so you can go out through them. But you could probably get in.
Yeah. I was thinking more like, is there like a sliding door on so we can just close off so the camera doesn't see us?
Nope.
That's a shame.
It's just an open doorway. You'd have to take that camera out, but that could be a job for Invisible Karen. There are 2 cameras you can determine that you would need to bypass if you went through that door. So if you're going to go through this door to get the head, you need to deal with this camera here and this camera here, because that one faces there. This one, you'd be way down at the end, so you'd be a little tiny figure, but moving the head, that's going to be pretty obvious.
Okay.
So what are we worried about here? We're worried about, first of all, I don't know why my hat and scarf idea seems to be off the table completely. I think it has the best chance of working. But if we're going with a different plan, fine. I'm a team player. Fine. I know I'm not the director. I'm just a costumer.
I think there's, sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
I think there's a chance we're worried the other guys might move on the museum or something in the museum, possibly the head, before us. So we don't have a week. We probably don't want to be hanging around town too long.
Well, I mean, the week was just to set up the story for verisimilitude. We could probably do it tomorrow. I mean, how many wheelchair-bound, loud American, idiotic scarf and ostentatious hat-wearing people are there in the city? Probably not too many.
I don't know. It's Quebec City.
Did you need to source fabric, or Karen?
Well,
would you be able to pull this off tomorrow, or not?
Well, I suppose
You couldn't
Cloissoné
make
could
that.
source the fabric.
No.
I think we have to do it tonight.
Not overnight, but maybe within 24 hours, as long as we didn't sleep and there was plenty of coffee.
Those
The fabric
chuckleheads
wouldn't-
are going to be here tonight.
It wouldn't have time to cure.
No,
Yeah,
but
don't,
it wouldn't have to cure. It just have to look approximately right.
Don't
Je-
burgle on 2
Jesse,
hours
are-
sleep
are
as
you-
well as my motto.
Jesse, are we on the same page that this is
You've never worked on a
happening
Hollywood picture.
tonight or it's not happening?
I'm thinking sooner the better is probably what we could do. But
Tonight, though, we have no time to plan to. What about tomorrow morning?
Unless
do
we
something
can
tomorrow morning.
ensure that those our friends aren't going to be pulling something tonight, I don't know how we can risk it.
Well, that's easy enough.
how
We just go
fast
there, we
can-
watch the head, and then if they try to steal it, we call the police.
we could
Yeah,
just
how fast can they be? It was clearly the first time Count Volpo had ever seen the thing.
And he's about to make love to it.
They're probably having the
Also-
same conversation right now.
Yeah, he didn't seem like someone who's really patient.
Also, we could have somebody watch the museum at night just to further case it, and if they make it out of the head, we could follow them in a car, jump them, and take the head.
Now, that effeminate ninja fellow is going to be lurking around, and I doubt that you'll be able to see him. He probably has a jump on you.
Sorry?
Or masculine ninja woman. I'm not sure, one or the other. The Eye on the Night fellow. The one who thought that he was above capitalism because he cut the labels off his jeans. Please.
Sounds like you had a fun time at this museum.
No, he was fine. Just had no idea what he was talking about. But he's with them, clearly. Because they're all from New Mexico.
Kieran, you're my rock. You're my guide. I trust what you have to work with, and my instinct is to plan and do something that we're sure will work rather than rushing it unplanned. I would like to find a way to do something that I want to act soon, and I'd like to act with the security of finger wag.
Well, look, here's the thing. We don't have to steal it from the museum if these idiots are going to steal it for us. We can just take it from the idiots. And for all the time that they're going to spend trying to break the museum, I guarantee you they haven't come up with, just as we haven't come up with, any sort of secure holding or exfiltration plan for the head.
And I
worst
have
comes
a
to
gun,
worst,
which is a great persuasion tool outside of the museum.
and I can find them wherever they go, or at least their clothes, and not have to be running around naked. So if they do happen to steal it tonight, and we don't happen to stop them tonight by calling the police, we can just go to where their clothes are, which is where they are going to be, and then just take it from them somehow. I don't know how, but it's probably easier than stealing it from a museum. Now, I still think we should take it from the museum, and we should just do it, the hat and scarf thing. But if that doesn't work, then I think we should use my dress up like the guards plan. But if that doesn't work, then we can steal it from the idiot Volpo.
What if we begin work on fabricating the magical costume as our backup plan, and then we keep watching it at night in the meanwhile, and if we see them steal it, we know how long you got their scent or their swatch. How long do you keep them?
Scent.
Touch them again? Work with me.
Scent, though, really?
You know what she meant, Mom.
Yeah, but words mean things, Cloissoné. As far as I know, forever.
Well, if you've keylogged them, then we can trace them if they take it. But maybe we can begin working on, as you said, we can begin working on a infiltration plan. But we'll have the backup. More and more, I like the idea of just letting them do the busy work and stealing it.
Except you're not sure that's what they're there for.
Yeah, they might be there to smash it or something, say, like suck out its power by smashing it.
They wouldn't commune with it by smashing it. I saw into that one guy with the fleece jacket. I saw into his soul. He's not going to smash it. He wants it. Although, maybe he wants it while it's in the museum and doesn't want to steal it away. If we could only read their minds.
That's the thing. We can't rely on them stealing it.
Look, if they're not going to steal it and they're not going to smash it, who cares? Let them hump it, and then we can take it afterwards.
All right, so you're willing to take a longer, a longer term plan with the idea that if someone steals it before you can steal it, then you'll just steal it from them, assuming that it's Volpo and his crew. But
I think that's
assuming Volpo and his crew are unable or unmotivated to steal it, how are you thinking you could get in, get access to it, load it up, get it out safely?
We want a dolly. We have, so we came into caravan. So we have, Kim brought her windowless cargo van. Perfect for stuff like this. That can be brought.
It'll fit in the back of that for sure.
Okay.
Great.
So we have the van. We want to get a dolly. So that's easy to source same day. I assume that there's U-Haul in Quebec. Maybe not. But we can get a dolly. We have the getaway in that way. I think there will probably be guards overnight, so we have to deal with them somehow. But if we do it quickly, we can avoid entanglements.
Can we stake out overnight to see what the guard situation is?
Okay.
Let's do that next. Let's see what the overnight guard situation is.
Or we just get there and ask them.
I was going to suggest for the theft plan, I think just over the wall, cover the ball in something, roll it out the emergency exit, and then stick it in the dolly or stick it into a van and drive away with it. It's probably the simplest way. We need a distraction as well, also way to tighten the guards.
Oh, does it blow up or talk or anything? Do we know that, by the way? Will it bite us? Oh my, will it bite us?
The jaws on that thing could take your arm right off.
Does it fly?
We'll cover that in insulation foam or something, maybe, when we wrap it up to roll it, I'm thinking.
Does it want to be free? Or does it like where it is?
It wants to be returned.
To where?
Ohio.
Ohio.
You have to go to Ohio?
Round on the sides and high in the middle.
That's where you guys are from.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought I was from Nebraska.
Oh yeah.
That's where
You moved.
It's where Karen and Cloissoné are from.
That's right.
Cornhuskers. I have a Cornhuskers.
Cloissoné's father is from. Let's be clear about this. I'm not staying here because it was in the divorce.
Leo.
Here's a question for Kim. Did you bring anything silenced? Any silenced pistols?
Okay, good time for a lesson. Silenced pistols aren't real. They're gonna hear us. If I discover the firearm in the museum, they're gonna hear it.
No,
There's no reason to shoot anybody. All right, we can handle the guards. Cloissoné and I. It's not a problem.
Okay.
We didn't get into the.
How are you, Cloissoné? How would you handle the guards? With your words, I'm
by running away from them.
Okay, fair.
I taught you so much better than that. Come on.
No, I was just thinking.
What will the guards notice about you and me when we walk up to them for the first time? What will they see?
I could do like a feint by pretending to be somebody else with some great clothes. But if it's at night, they're just gonna arrest me.
What if you did a feint while you were wearing a uniform from their security company?
One thing that I was thinking of with regards to the science pistol was that you'd use it to break the glass on one of the gold exhibits so that it would set off the barometric pressure alarms. And that could be a distraction because like, they think, hey, they've come for the gold rather than they've come for the 600-pound stone head.
You don't
I can
need
do
a
that
gun
with
for that. You
I
just,
can do that with a crowbar.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just need a hammer.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
just a question of being able to do it without entering the
60
room. Yeah.
might not help as much. I like the thought, but we may not need to discharge a weapon for that and risk for legal entanglements just in case.
That's fair. Fair enough.
I started going through the, well, no, it doesn't have a phone book anymore. I started going through the internet yellow pages for Quebec, and I'm looking for uniform supply stores because all these companies get their uniforms from like 2 or 3 different stores in any city you go to.
Yeah, you can get the uniforms. You can dummy up the name tags.
Yeah,
the question is, why would they accept you if they're not expecting a 4th guard? Yeah, over the course of watching over a couple nights, it seems like there's 3 guards overnight.
Yeah. No,
They're in and out in shifts.
I would like to keep track. I have my high-powered telephoto lens, and I would like to take a picture of each of the guards and estimate their height, weight, and if they smoke.
You're not very good at... You can tell that one of them does smoke. You can tell the other 2 don't smoke while you're watching them. But that doesn't mean they don't smoke. It just means that they don't immediately light up upon leaving their job.
Do they leave in their uniforms?
Yes.
Okay.
Jesse, can you break into their house or car and steal me a uniform from one of them?
I mean, that's doable, but
You could go to a workwear outfit. Oh wait, do you need? Sorry.
I mean,
Well, I can get a uniform. I want their uniform.
That specific person's uniform.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's specific person's uniform.
but we need to work out where one of them lives first, though.
Well, if
Okay,
only we knew
someone give me a
professional
pursuit roll.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Let me. Is digital pursuit on the table? Can I roll pursuit to like with the photo of someone? Can I do like a reverse image search, like identity theft on him to try to like find who one of them is? Does that make sense?
All right, give me one of those.
Tin eye and then reverse white pages.
Yes. Or so pursuit or computer hacker? Because
Try computer hacker to find out who this dude is.
Sure. So I got. Oh, good. I got 69. I can't even. It's not nice at all. I can't even flip flop it.
Okay.
There are about, you narrow it down to about 60 different French guys living in Quebec, but their Facebook pages are all in French. You can't understand.
Other people a Fleur? What are the odds?
Okay, if we're taking time to case, one thing I guess I can try and fold one of them home.
Okay.
So you want a pursuit roll? Okay. Okay, it's cocked. Well, I got a 0 and 1, so just make sure I don't get a double 0. Oh, shit. 0. So I'm guessing he possibly spots me following him home.
No, he just loses you.
Okay, I'm sure there'll be no consequences for that.
None, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
What vehicle were you following him in?
I might have rented a moped, maybe. Just
Okay. All right.
So we're not using that car again. So we're not using that car again, probably.
Yeah.
A moped?
I'm just picturing you throwing the moped over the edge of the cliff. Safe now.
Oh. Gosh, no, I'm just imagining now, just like getting like a takeaway, like a fast food delivery thing, and just like one of those big warm bags, and just using that to keep your head in, and just like drive away, pretend to be delivery driver or something.
It's too big for that, but yeah.
Cloissoné, how would you get one of the uniforms? Since obviously, our thief and our hacker and tracker can't thieve or hack and track it.
would.
Use your creativity.
French. I can't read French.
I would pretend to shoplift, get called into the guards' zone, and then you would make a big stink about where I went, and I would steal one of their outfits while I was in there.
How are you going to steal your outfit while you're connect B and C for me?
They're going to have to go out and talk to my mom.
Yeah, their outfits are on their persons. They don't have lockers in there.
There's not because they leave with them. They don't. Nobody keeps into them.
Oh, but then you charm him. He invites you to dinner. You go back to his place. One thing leads to another.
No.
And you take his clothes and you run. Because he's going to go to change into something more comfortable.
This is kind of out of character. Can you explain why you want that particular uniform? Like, I'm having a hard time helping with this because I don't know what it will achieve.
If I get a uniform, I'm fairly certain I can trick them into thinking I'm a guard. But if I get his uniform, I'm fairly certain I can trick them into thinking that I'm him.
Great.
Which works better, I think, than just I am a generic guard from the same company as you that you've never met before.
Yes,
or you just got the invisibility. Y'all might be
use
overthinking
invisibility, but I mean that's a little woo-woo, isn't it? I mean, this is a lot more.
You're a little woo-woo.
I mean, you can do it.
We're here for the woo-woo.
I suppose it just seems, I don't know, like cheating.
It is cheating.
If you don't, would you feel better if I point out that without cheating, they have every single advantage?
It's not fair otherwise.
So then what? I'm invisible, but then how do I get the guards to be distracted?
If you turn invisible, at the very least, you could shut down the camera while invisible. And
probably then go check on what's going on with the cameras, unless something else is happening.
You could trip the gold alarms just by cracking something.
Yeah, so one whack of the hammer would do that.
By making the guards more alert, do you think we have a better chance of pulling this off?
If they're all focused on the gold room, maybe.
We're going to be short on time anyway, so buying more seconds with them on the opposite side of the museum might be what we need.
All right, fair enough. What happens when, what's his name, and his merry band of idiots show up?
That's an assumption.
No plan survives contact with the enemy, but if we go in with something, we have a better chance of getting it before time runs out, and they perhaps steal it.
All right, but then when Volpe shows up and starts, I don't know what he does, but he obviously does something, humping the wall, and making our eyes bleed.
Well, here's a question.
We need a plan B, is what I'm saying.
I would only do this if I could think I could reliably dose it, but could I have, while you're invisible, you go and put a predetermined amount of sedatives in their coffee or beverage of choice?
Ah, that's very clever, because if you miss a dose, then I'm the murderer. No, thank you.
I've been taking responsibility for dosing people for a long time. I can handle this one.
But what will the law say? Will the law say that you're the murderer, or will the law say that I, the person who put the poison in their cups, is the murderer?
You know what? This is a conspiracy. We'd all be the murderer.
The other question is, do you need to give them a dangerous dose or a dose of something that's dangerous? You could just give them it's like you've had 5 beers.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is something that will...
That's pretty benign.
Laughing gas style, or get them drowsy, or...
And do we know that none of them are allergic? Like that kid in Stand By Me? No. My girl? He was allergic to bees, right? Allergic to bees. That made me cry when I was a child. Also, he cried too. Don't look at me.
Okay.
Macaulay Culkin. He cried. He died.
I think if we stick with smashing one of the cases, rather than too overcomplicate. But if you think you can poison one, that'd be good.
It's not. Let
Poison
me be
anyone.
clear. It's not poison.
Okay.
Only
What is it, doctor?
Inebriate one of them.
It's
I-
a mild sedative.
I would be very interested in what would happen if I gave them Sepatol TM trademark.
Oh, Cipitol is an injectable.
Oh, only I have some of it pill pressed into Airsat's antacid tablets.
Yes, that is so that you can get it. That's how you got it through customs
Ah.
while carrying enough for like a zoo. So to make it work, you need to grind it up and titrate it into a liquid and then inject that. And then the person that you inject it into will enter the Cipitol trance, at which point you can talk to the Cipitol intelligence.
I would really love to talk to the Cipitol intelligence in the presence of this statue, but
I'm-
You're going to have to
maybe we
steal a
can do that
statue to
later.
do that.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by this and looking forward to reading about it later, but okay. Have we considered how we're going to get this out of the city? I'd suggest by boat. Just
We'll
boat
drive.
it down.
Across the border again.
Drive.
Well, it'll be in my van by then. We can just leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
And presumably
How
the
do-
rest of the crew leave as well.
We can wait. We can worry about how to get across the border later on, I suppose. But
You could
So I'm
stash
just-
it and let it cool off for a while too.
cool.
Once it's out of the museums, the world's our oyster /
Yeah.
hiding
Okay.
place for a giant
And
statue.
leave that girl.
All right, so talk me through the plan, describing it step by step as if everything worked perfectly.
The way
Step
I-
one.
Okay.
Karen
We,
comes in as well.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jesse.
No, Karen. Jesse will go over the wall somehow. I can probably climb up the incline if necessary, but hopefully just
The
sort of
easiest
assuming-
way, you could go over the
Yeah.
fence, kind of
Yeah, fence.
stumble around and get up over the wall. That you're
Yeah.
confident you can do.
Yep. Okay, then I'm gonna need somebody else's. Okay, then I wrap it in something like we can get some insulation foam or something, and we can use that to roll up into the eastern side of the thing. Basically, just roll into special expeditions, out the emergency exit, up into the van, and we escape. Just in the meantime, I'm thinking Karen invisibly sets off one of the alarms on the other side to distract them.
You
Sure.
do not think that you can move this thing unassisted just rolling it.
We have to get the dolly.
We need a dolly.
And
Okay.
getting it off the plinth by yourself would be very difficult to do safely. Two people. Okay, so the way it would have to work, if you're going to do it solo, you'd need to make a fitness roll. If there's two
Okay.
of you, one of you needs to make a fitness roll. And you probably take a penalty on the solo fitness roll. 3 people
Yep.
can move it without a roll,
Well,
even if one of them is Kim.
I need
got
to
plenty
be
of
there for the I'm going to be there for the theft. So
okay.
um,
So I need another one or two more volunteers to hang out on my side. Somebody's going to be in the van. So who's going to be driving the van?
Oh, well, me, of course.
Okay.
All right, so does that mean that the people going after the head, it's Dr. A, Jesse, and Cloissoné?
Cloissoné, how do you lift?
Whatever.
She's very capable. She got an
Yeah,
A in
yeah.
gym class.
Thanks, Mom.
Cloissoné, I'm asking you. Did you get an A in gym class?
Yeah, Kim.
Can I
did.
just ask a
God.
Can I ask a quick question as well? When I was in there, would I have been able to see if there was a way to cut off the emergency exit alarm? Because I assume like it's a fire alarm that goes off if you use it.
You'll need to roll to spoof that. You can spoof it from the outside so
Okay.
that it will believe the door is still closed.
I think we should do that definitely.
That's probably step one before we go over defense.
Sanity check, Jesse. Do you have any woo-woo magic tricks that might help this specific plan?
I've got my little lucky charm set up to help.
Better than nothing.
And yeah, and if I need to run away, I've got my distraction tactic there, and that's probably good. Aside from that, no.
Be sure to bring your bag
I
of
should
steel
have done
components, says Kim.
My
Into
my-
the museum, sure.
my bag of what? Sorry.
Your dollar bill, your bag of spell components, Kim says, rolling her eyes.
Sure.
See, do you ever think that the magic that you do is a little bit, I don't know, scattered?
What do you mean scattered?
Well, you know,
it's
you do
just
one thing
tricks
here and you do
picked
one
up.
thing there, but it's not really thematic, is it? I mean, it's
Doesn't
like
need to
a
be.
cut. Well, it does. It's like if you're wearing like clothes from 5 different collections, the same designer, but like 5 different years. It just doesn't go together. It doesn't make sense.
Well, listen, I used to work at a carnival. We had the haunted house out next to Jungle Adventure Spinner, across the midway from the Pretty Princess Carousel. Thematic isn't my deal.
But that's called being eclectic, like Frasier's Living Room in the TV show Frasier. If you think you're back to that, that's eclecticism is a look. It's a style itself. But what you do is just a little bit here and a little bit there. You really, well, anyway, look, it's probably not a conversation to have now. I'm just thinking that.
Look, I'm not some sort of pantsuit witch like you, but that's.
You're a carny,
just
and carnies know how to break in. Focus on the mission.
All right.
Yep.
At this point, there is a phone call on one of Jesse's burners.
Yellow.
Hey, Jesse, it's Mara. How are you doing?
Who's Mara?
Mara is the one who told you about the head and who said, if you go steal that head, you won't owe me that money anymore.
Oh yes, Mara.
She's also the person who treated Kim.
Mara?
Yes.
Kim's eyes perk up.
Okay.
So I know
Mara.
that we should not talk about things too much over cell phones because how expensive it is.
Oh, why?
And,
Yeah.
But remember when you said you were gonna go off on a trip and watch some whales?
Mm-hmm.
I said you should definitely go watch those whales because those whales are really something to see. Maybe it turns out that whales aren't that great to see. That going out and seeing the whales might be bad for you, or they might actually turn out to be like those Oprahs, those killer whales. And so if you see what I'm saying is that I know you're already off on your trip, but maybe you could just see some other sites, have a nice time, and then come back to the U.S. without seeing any whales. Do you see my perspective?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't want to risk my neck, but my friends are really looking forward to seeing it. I mean,
Oh, they could get seasick, though.
Is this? I guess we'll just have to see. My friends are really looking forward to it, and we've already, invested in the trip. But
I would definitely call that off were I you. There's new research coming out from oceanographers about how dangerous whales actually are, and that maybe whales are just better off left alone.
Can we hear this, Jesse? Are you on speaker?
Not yet.
Yeah,
you did say the name Mara, which made me listen.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you what. I'll have a think about it, and I'll let you know.
Okay. yeah, just be careful. Take care of yourself. I should be going too. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Where, Jesse?
Okay. Okay, so Mara's saying that
Wait,
Mara's
did Mara
saying
put
that
you up to
it
this
sounds-
too?
Hmm?
Did we know that
Yeah.
Mara put all of us up to this? Okay,
She kind of assembled the string.
She assembled the team. Okay, just checking. I wasn't sure.
So you got the gang back together.
Mara's saying that, like, you know, she's worried it might be. Sounds like she's saying it was probably going to be a bit risky. That could burn us, you know.
Yeah, the thing's probably going to try to eat us or something. It's a head. It has a mouth.
Do we know, is Mara like some sort of like clairvoyant or something, or future teller?
Mara
Or...
put a scorpion in my mouth and stung me, and I wasn't the pills anymore. Mara can do it. Mara's the real deal.
Mara does seem to have access to Cepatal-like extra physical intelligences.
That's that name again.
She gave me some peyote in one day, and you know, I don't know if it was anything special. I hear that it happens a lot of time when you take peyote. But there was Cloissoné, don't take peyote. But I, you know, I saw some things and I felt some things. And one of the things I saw was this big giant head.
Huh.
Same. I'm not leaving without seeing that head again. That head in me communed, and whatever the Mara says, we'll be in a better position if we have the head than if we don't. So what I take is, Karen, are they still here? Fleece Jacket and Androgynous Ninja?
That's a good question. Are they still
Yeah,
here?
you've tracked down. Well, their clothes are in a hotel not too far away, pretty close to the museum.
Yeah. I don't know, 200 yards that way. Meters. We're in Canada. Meters. 200 meters that way.
Oh, dang.
It's more than 200. You guys are a little farther out, actually.
600
Karen,
meters that way.
remember that time you know you had that guy in the cardigan and you hexed up his cardigan so he's, you know, get horrible itches all over his body and he has to be hospitalized.
I have no idea
Can
what
you
you're
do
talking
that
about.
with? Okay, metagame. I'm talking about using a blast. Could you
no
do
idea
that?
what
You've
with-
never
about.
seen. You don't know that Karen can do that. You've
Okay,
never
fair
seen
enough.
her use magic for violence.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to say, well, if we, no, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. So go ahead.
I got a
someone
gun.
else.
We could go over there and make him do it. I mean, I'm just options on the table.
Let's try to keep our felonies non-violent.
All right, I'm gonna go refresh my refresh a glass of water. Figure out. It sounds like you're still dedicated to doing the crime.
Yes.
When I come back,
I think it.
have your plan finalized. Okay.
Gotcha.
It's crime time.
All right.
So
So speaking out of character.
It sounds like, yeah, out of character. It sounds like what we're thinking is Cloissoné, Jesse, and Dr. A are going to physically enter the terrace. Well, first we have to get in, but those three are going to lift the head off the plinth, it sounds like. Are we in agreement about that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can disable the emergency exit alarm, then I can let you in. As long as the door isn't covered by a camera, nobody will notice. Because I'll be in the building the whole time. I'm never going to leave the building. I'm just
The
gonna
door is covered by a camera. So we need to disable the cameras and distract the guards.
Well, there's one door that's disabled, covered by a camera, but if I'm looking correctly at the map, the emergency exit by the restroom near the front is not covered by a camera.
Yes, but we'd have to go through cameras to get to the terrace.
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought we were talking about the one on the right side of the map.
The eastern emergency exit, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that looks like there's a wall in the way, so maybe we could open it without being seen.
No, he said we couldn't. That
How about the front door? What if I just let you in the front door?
The front door is covered by the 20th century camera.
Okay. What if you can you skydive? Can you come in through the roof?
Roof is not an option for Kim. I was thinking that too, but we'd have to get the trolley in still.
Okay.
If you're invisible, can you disable the cameras?
I mean, if I can disable them when I'm visible, I can disable them when I'm invisible. Sure.
And it seems like we can disable the cameras. I think disabling the cameras is a good idea.
Certainly the guards would notice that, wouldn't they?
That is part of the plan, to distract them.
But if I disable the camera by the emergency exit, won't the guards just go to that camera?
Well, we're hoping you'll distract them with the
The cameras at the auto is the planes.
Yeah. Yes, I can disable that, sure.
I think if we break a case to distract them with that first, then maybe the guards will be looking at that, and then we'll have a few seconds to spray the camera elsewhere. Does that make some sense?
That sounds good, yeah.
That sounds good. And then, do we want to try and do anything in the guard room computer hacky wise?
I don't. I think it's going to be too complicated.
Yeah.
We don't have enough of a plan for that. We're just going to have to hope for the time.
Okay.
What about the dumpster doors? Are they covered by that camera there? Doesn't look like they are, actually.
The dumpsters.
Is that a door or just a zone?
I was
Well,
just
how do you get the garbage to the dumpsters otherwise?
that might be a
Do
nice
the-
place to get in invisible, and then like
Yeah.
disable that camera first before moving to other cameras.
The concern is that the indoor-outdoor cafe, there's apparently no door there. I don't know how that works, but I don't know if you can get. You must be able to somehow, but it sounded like there was no door from the cafe outdoors.
I think all the red circles are entrances, exits. I think it's that you don't, if you're going to the cafe, you don't enter through the dumpster door.
Hmm.
Can you guys just climb the cliff?
Easy, yeah.
Just in kind of, but someone has to get a trolley to the terrace. So
We
we have
can-
to
we can get-
door something.
Okay. I will bring the dolly through the emergency exit that is opened. Jesse.
I mean, then we might as well just all go through the
We need a
exit, I suppose.
distraction for the guards.
Okay.
Well,
I
no,
can do it.
Jesse needs to get to disable the emergency exit without triggering it. Oh, you can do that from outside. Sorry.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
disable the emergency exit. I'll be inside. I'll distract the guards. And I have a couple other distractions, like distraction plan B and distraction plan C as well, that I can do besides just being invisible. Because that's silly just to put all your eggs in one basket.
I would like to give you some mild sedatives to spike the cafe coffee with before you start the distraction.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to poison the guards. What if one of them has an allergic reaction and dies? Then I'm a murderer. No, thank you.
I will be there to ensure that that doesn't happen.
Perhaps a relationship role is called for on this subject, if you have one.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Could be.
I'm going to. I think this is a good idea, and this is going to help ensure our success.
But you're kind of coercing Karen to do something that's against her values. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm going to roll this coercion.
Sure. Karen, what do you think?
So you're coercing what? Which of my meters then?
I have a 55% relationship with you.
Yeah,
Sure,
relationship roles are a different thing. That's
Okay.
on.
Let me open.
Isolation, possibly, or self?
Yeah, I thought you had to still pick a meter, didn't you?
Yeah.
36 on book 1 is where this is.
Probably.
Just pick one and.
Oh, I see. So if Dr. A succeeds, Karen has to either cave in or face a stress check of some sort, but it isn't specified.
So just so we could got it settled for Greg, do we get the doily in through the emergency exit, or do we try and flip that over the wall somehow?
Get
I
the.
think we have to get the dolly in through the emergency exit. I don't know how else we would.
Okay.
You have the perfect plan now, right?
Yep.
We do sort of. We're still trying to figure out how a coercion roll works specifically. You have to pick the meter it goes against when you do it, or
It's who are you planning to coerce? How?
I am coercing Karen to drug the guards.
With the relationship. With the relationship to that.
Okay. Well, what are you threatening her? What is your threat that, if you don't do this for me?
Oh. If you don't do this for me. Oh, I don't know what I have leverage on you. But I just I guess I'm trying to guilt you into doing it because I think that we'll all go to jail. I think we'll lose. But
Well,
I don't know
if you're going to use
coercible.
jail, it has to be something along the lines of, do this or I will dime you out right now. I will stitch you up for planning the whole thing. I'll say you were the mastermind and that I got cold feet. If you want it to just be an emotional appeal of we'll all be mad at you, it'll be like, you're the only person who can do this. We really need to do this. You're letting the whole team down. You said you were a team player. So
Sounds
that
like
would be, self or isolation. It's like, we'll all turn against you unless you help us out with this. And that's a legitimate threat because you did say you were a team player, and everyone does seem to be a little fed up at this point.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So what was the roll?
That would be
Your relationship, isn't it?
Yeah, you can use the relationship. It's probably as good as anything else. So, how many passions for each of you keys into this? I think you get +2 per passion, right?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Good question.
Hard to argue that.
This is hard to argue that this is healing body and spirit, unless I'm thinking that something worse is going to happen to the guards if they try and intervene. But
Yeah,
I'm,
if anything, Kim should probably be with Karen on this one because protecting the public.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that might vaguely apply is honest communication, which is my ability. And I don't think it necessarily applies directly.
Well,
either,
and deliberate ignorance, because he's like, I'm telling you, these guards will be safe. I'm an expert. I've been doing this for years. But what if they're not safe? What if they're allergic? Ugh.
Oh, I'll be there. I guaranteed that I'll be there to treat them if they are allergic.
Okay.
I'm not willing to kill them or to have them die for this.
Make the roll.
5.
Okay. So pretty much that's what, a rank 4 or 6 check if you continue to resist.
It makes a difference if it's rank 4 or 6.
We'll say 6. What the hell?
Okay.
That'll move things. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Then
So the plan is Karen turns invisible, wrecks the cameras, drugs the guards, and then you just walk through the door and get it?
I think I go invisible, drug the guards, wreck the cameras in that particular order.
Jesse disables the emergency exit. We all come in with the dolly and take the head.
Also,
if she's inside, she can let you in the emergency exit. It's an emergency exit. It has a
but we want to disable it.
You're going to need Jesse to fix the detector.
That was that's what Jesse's doing.
All right.
There are a couple other things I want to do in prep real quick. First, I want to make sure that I always know where the jacket and the tracksuit are while we're doing this. So if they're like coming much closer, I want to just be aware of it. 2, if I can, I got the charges. I might as well tag everyone here's clothes in case we get separated.
All right.
So, and I'm going to tell you I'm doing it. I'm not going to try to hide this from you guys.
Just to follow, we probably get ski masks as well, so to hide our identity.
That's just basic professionalism.
Be invisible?
Well, that goes without saying.
And
what does your invisibility cloak look like, by the way?
So it is a robe I took off of a movie I made called Brides of Lucifer, which this was back probably like 1994. And it was actually a bunch of Target bathrobes that we dyed and then stitched some stuff onto. So it looks exactly like this fuzzy bathrobe with a bunch of occult symbols on it and a pointed hood.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So
it's beautiful.
All right.
Got the pointy hood. It's got the weird generic symbols on it. And it is fuzzy and extremely comfortable and warm.
It looks positively infernal.
Yes. That's how it's supposed to work. And the last thing I want to do, and I don't know if this is within the realm of random magic for me or not, but I figured it's fun. Why not? I've never played a Vestimancer before. I want to try to enchant that hat and or scarf that Kim was wearing. That just anybody who sees somebody wearing that hat or scarf sees the last person to wear it, which is Kim.
Now wait a minute. That seems like it might cause trouble for me if they see me in the museum later, or maybe they'll think I'm still in Canada. I don't know what you're doing, so I'm just thinking out loud. Do what you will.
That might be more useful for getting out of the country rather than getting out of the museum.
No, because I was going to put it on the statue, because that way, technically it's not a
disguise
crime
the
to wheel
statue.
Kim out of the museum.
Sure.
On a
I'm trying to
dolly.
wheel the statue out of the museum on the dolly. And it's going to
I
be
like
weird.
So please let's.
It would take
that'll work.
a lot of juice, but
Okay.
you've got a lot of juice.
I've got like
you've been
18
running
charges
through.
left, I think.
Yeah,
So,
it would probably take like 4 cigs
okay.
to make a giant chunk of rock look like a person. But okay,
Or anyone else wearing the hat and scarf. And I'll even throw in the restriction that they have to, well, they won't recognize Kim unless they've seen Kim before, but it'll look like Kim is the point.
okay.
Yeah, I'll make the roll.
So, you've tagged everyone. I'll,
Yeah.
give you that, give you that without a roll because you've
Sure.
got all the time in the world to do it. Okay, so you turn in. Give me the roll to turn invisible.
Sure.
That's step 1, right?
27.
Okay. Yeah, you're invisibly hide it. Where are you going to hide? The terrace, the bathroom?
Bathroom.
All right. So yeah, you're in there. Probably wait to cast the spell until after the museum closes and the guard comes in to check.
I'm not wearing a fuzzy bathrobe in. I'm actually wearing another brilliant Canadian disguise in. Not this one, a different one.
All right. But yeah, that's all clear. Guard leaves. How late are you guys going to do this?
Does anyone have any magical resonances at a certain hour?
I don't like staying up past midnight if I can help it.
All right, 11:30.
All right. Okay.
11:30
People
then.
confuse me for anything but a local.
In Quebec City with the Leafs?
You know, close enough. They'll still think I'm Canadian, won't they?
All
Okay,
right.
go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Anglophone.
seal the deal by carrying this really prominently around the museum.
The streets are still going to be fairly active at 11:30.
Well, maybe I can push it a little bit. We can try. Does I'll Google it. Does Quebec City have like a bars close at 3 a.m. type policy? Is there a curfew?
I don't know if there's a last call or not, but on, let's say, and it's a Friday night, isn't it? Because you were there a couple days.
Oh,
So
Let's say that in Montreal, last call is 3, but the bars are allowed to stay open until afterwards. They just can't serve any more alcohol. I don't know if it's the same in Quebec City, but I would assume it's similar.
but
The people who are out around then are probably going to be pretty.
yeah, by 1:30, you figure it'll be pretty much. By 1:30, the people who are out on the street aren't curious about anything.
Let's try 1:30.
All right. So you're stuck in the bathroom for hours and hours, but
I'm carrying a hat box just in case.
gotta have the hat. But yeah,
That's important.
when the witching hour arrives, you hear the guards go by a couple times. Give me another roll to turn invisible when you are gonna come out.
Oh, do I have to? It's supposed to last a few hours.
No, it lasts minutes equal to the roll. So you were invisible for 27 minutes.
Oh, I thought it was hours equal to the roll. Okay. My bad. 08.
Okay. So you got 8 minutes to mess up those cameras.
Sure. So I guess I'll do what the plan is. I'll mess with the camera that's closest to the guard booth first. I guess
Okay.
I'll just get on a stool.
And you can see them come out and they're like, what the hell?
All right, and then I will walk over to the case with something gold in it and just smash it with a chair. I don't know, something heavy.
Little hammer.
Little hammer, sure.
Jesse, give me a burglar roll to spoof the door.
Okay.
Did
34. So that's a success.
Oh yeah, and Dr. A, give me your roll to make and you're erring on the side of weak with
Yeah.
the drugs.
I am erring on the side of weak, and of course I can diagnose. Or 48.
Okay. So you're pretty confident that this will be a benign dose.
I
Karen,
haven't worked in a while.
so you've gotten the one camera, tick tock, tick tock. Yeah. You can feel the invisibility is, wearing off a little at the edges. What do you do next?
I guess I will dose the guards coffee. That was the plan, right?
Okay. How do you know which one is which guards?
I don't. I just dose all three.
Okay.
3 cups there, right? Dose 3 guards.
There are different doses for different guards because they are different bodies.
Well, that's too bad. We didn't plan for that. So
wait,
1, 2, 3, pretty much at random.
Wait, I did plan for this.
Okay.
In our stakeout, I examined each of the individual guards and
so the doses are all calibrated.
They are
for
calibrated.
The lightest guard. For the lightest guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I told you this.
All right.
Okay, but like, as long as they're all the same dose, I don't care. Then 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And if they're different doses, we didn't plan for that. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
And then I'll rush up to the terrace.
Okay.
And I'll throw the hat and the scarf on the statue. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll just be
okay. And did you hit the thing yet? Did you?
I hit the thing.
You broke the glass. Okay, so they're yelling. They're, you can hear an audible alarm. They're squawking on their boxes. Okay, and Jesse, roll to open the door.
If you grab the gold head, does it also turn invisible?
If I put it under my cloak, I suppose it probably would, but I'm not interested in stealing what we didn't come to steal.
Okay, I got a 56, so that's just too high to be useful. I'm thinking now I may as well use my re-roll to get that out. Okay. 30. Phew.
Okay.
Magic.
Bust the door open, rush in with your whatever wheeled conveyance you got, out to the terrace. Terrace doors open. And by this point, Karen's, it's probably hasn't been 8 full minutes yet. But yeah, you start wrapping the head. A's with you, Cloissoné's with you.
Yeah.
All right, so the 4 of you can get that thing wrapped up, get it on the cart, put the hat and the scarf on it, and spend the charges.
4 6. 71, which I will flip flop to 17.
Okay. So y'all took down a camera. Remember how there were 2 cameras?
There are several cameras.
Back to me.
Yeah, you took 1 camera down, distracted them, but one of the guards still did see people rush in with a cart, and now they're coming off the terrace with something. So there is a guard there with a gun in his hand yelling, "Arrête." What do you do?
Okay.
I got it. Unless anybody else wants to shoot him.
We're not going to shoot him.
Okay.
Kim's in the truck, in the van outside, so.
I could also try and bamboozle him. So
good.
I'm going to whip out my twin. I'm going to whip out my twin and say, "My man, it's very good to see you. We're just here to take up
Hey, stay back.
take this thing back to head office." And what?
All right, make your roll.
Head office.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, good. A 19.
The head office?
Yes, back to the head office. It's got to be
Office
inspected, made sure it's head shape. Like the good old, who's on the 20? Andrew Jackson. Yes, good old Andrew Jackson here. And I'll just pass it on to him.
And he kind of takes it, and he's like,
Oh.
but it's not scheduled. What are y'all doing?
Does it look like it's working?
Kinda?
He's not
Then we just
shooting
keep
you.
going.
All right.
He's not
Yeah,
shooting
well,
you. I'm still.
I'm acting
invisibility
like
is
we're
almost up,
supposed
so
to
we gotta
be
go.
there.
Yeah, your invisibility ends.
I'm continuing
just
my bamboozlement.
Yeah, now is the time to just walk away, continuing to make eye contact and slowly nod your head as he looks more and more confused and helpless.
Pick it up with
Yes,
head
well,
off.
it's a surprise inspection. Yes,
And you passed.
Yes.
All right, that's not going to hold him for long. You guys cram it into the van. All right. Yeah, give me a. Kim needs to make a pursuit roll.
Okay. Check the rear view. K-bar ready. Gun it. Oh, good. Yeah, that was probably expected. 93, and I can't flip-flop that to a 25, so fail.
All right. You are rocketing down towards the end of the parking lot. You can hear sirens in the distance, and a rather nice Audi pulls in front of you, and out spills Volpo and Mansteel. And Mansteel's got an enormous revolver in his hand.
Oh, good.
And he's like, all right, give us the head. You know what? Why don't we just take the truck?
Kim thinks, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. Look for a plan to other people in van.
You've got,
reverse.
he's pointing a gun at you. You have a gun in your hand.
What? I'll whip off my invisibility cloak, which is useless now anyway, and put on my very fancy hat. You can't see that. It's a top hat. I have a very fancy hat. And I'm going to use a very fancy hat on them.
Okay, which one are you going to use it on?
So the spell doesn't specifically say it's one person. It says, watch as people obey you.
I was thinking people in sequence. Pick a target, because you have to give a specific obeyable order.
Then the guy with the gun.
Okay.
Yeah. Shoot at your friend. Volpo.
What?
All right, make the roll. What are you doing, Kim?
Kim is. A gun's probably about to go off. So Kim is doing her grounding techniques. I guess. Is the Audi blocking the van?
It is.
Is there any way around the Audi?
You could try and buck it out of the way by ramming it with the van.
Yeah. Okay. So
anybody else doing anything other than just holding on?
If this guy's going to shoot I'm not in favor of gun violence. So if someone is getting shot, I will do something. But
I think you're probably in the back with the rest of us, making sure the head doesn't roll around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that head unsecured during high-speed maneuvers. Having that on a tippy cart, you weren't planning that this would be swerving. So yeah, pretty much the three of you are just trying to not get crushed flat. Yeah, that'll keep you busy.
We should have brought like a giant egg cup or something.
Kim, can you back up? Can we just go?
Not with guns out. Let's solve that.
Give me the pursuit roll to knock him out of the way.
I rolled a 12 with my command.
Okay.
Which is well under.
So that is a rank 2 violence check unless he shoots Volpo?
It is a rank 2 violence check unless he shoots Volpo.
He can watch that. But his eyes get big. He's like,
fair enough.
What did you do to me? And he pulls the trigger pointing at you.
Okay.
Thank God for Canadian healthcare.
I could have flip-flopped it to a 21, which is even worse.
And he misses, but there is
No, I said Volpo! Try again.
Try a bigger head. Okay, so a gun has just gone off, correct?
Yep.
Then I'm going to use my fear. Can I, as a flee reaction, like, nope, we're done, time to leave. I want to use my fear reaction to flight, pursuit, drive away.
All right, so you are just gonna drive the hell away from this no matter what happens.
Yeah, don't care about the traffic, just leaving in the van now.
All right. Give me that pursuit roll.
So that's, love it, love that. Yeah, 77, good.
You can re-roll it, can't you, if it's your fear? You can re-roll it?
Oh,
Isn't that how-
he's snapped.
Match.
Yeah, it's the dice have spoken pretty clearly on what they want to happen here. So you are trying to push the car out of the way, and you are just making it worse. You've gotten it wedged. Somehow your bumper is high enough that you've actually put your front wheels up in the air.
Ugh.
And Volpo springs out of the car, buck naked, except for this greasy wolf pelt wrapped around his head and shoulders, and he throws his head back and howls.
Don't look, Cloissoné!
Ah, the human
And
animal.
then springs towards the car. So Mansteel's taking another shot.
Well, I did shout. I said Volpo,
You know,
so that's my action.
yeah.
To-
It doesn't
Good.
matter. He's got enough hard notches. He can suck that up. Oh wait, no,
Also-
the second one. What was it?
I didn't roll it yet.
Oh, roll it.
Yeah.
See if you beat his
25.
roll.
25.
Okay. So a 5. Oh yeah, 5's gonna do it. But he is choosing to take the roll rather than obey you.
Sure.
He seems like a guy who might have trouble obeying orders from women. But he has now gotten another hardened notch in violence. And this shot hits. He has dialed in.
Okay.
Now, you were in what, the passenger side, I assumed?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so the windshield pretty much explodes. There's now blood all down the front of your invisibility cloak.
No, it's dark. It's fine.
All right.
Seltzer!
Kim turns to Karen. I don't know, folks. 6 ways to stop a fight is coming to mind here.
You're going to have to
I
run.
Yeah.
You have to
We're
run.
running.
You have to get the hell out of there. So the truck's not working. You're going to have to get out and flee on foot.
Oh, good. How to where? How close is our B&B?
Farther than you can run, but that doesn't enter your mind. You're not thinking about running to, you're thinking about running away.
All right, you get those bariatric steel crutches and okay. Let's
Nope.
see. Kim,
You're running out barehanded. You can't. You're not thinking of.
Okay.
You might have the gun that's in your hand. You're carrying that. You don't think to put it down. It makes you feel 2% safer, so you're not leaving it. But you're just running like hell.
A bandage.
Okay.
And you've engaged Volpo's chase instincts.
I was gonna say I was gonna chase after Kim, just to make sure she was okay. I can help her if need be.
She's not okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
just
Volpo.
Sorry.
Volpo kind of wipes
Yes.
out. He is not apparently as good at running on all fours as he thinks he is. Give me a fitness roll, Kim.
All right. Fitness.
check my data.
Wow. 79.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
doing so well either. Oh, you're back. You're back. Oh God, it's all happening again. What? The car's stopped now. What are Cloissoné, Jesse, and Dr. A doing?
So
Mansteel is just standing there with the gun, looking like he's about to shoot again.
I have noted my love of the Mission Impossible series of movies. I am going to run up to the front of the passenger or to the driver's seat and throw the van into reverse and just try and like go backwards.
All right, give me pursuit.
In the meantime, I was going to chase after Kim to make sure
37.
she's okay.
Interestingly, 37 is what Mansteel rolled to shoot at Kim.
Oh, good.
I shouldn't have told you that. I just should have told you that you feel the same sledgehammery feeling in your back but this time it's much higher.
The
So
corner
you
of the
fall,
tiger.
and Volpo falls on you.
Could I have a chance to defend
What are you gonna do? Yeah,
them? Or
what are you doing? Kim's been
Oh,
shot.
shit.
Volpo looks like he is going to seriously try and stick his mouth
okay,
in her
well,
gunshot
I probably
wound.
bought.
Oh yeah, you can.
I'll just
You've got
pull the-
something. All
I'll
right,
pull the crowbar from my thing and just try and crack Volpo over the snout with it.
go. What's your
Okay.
struggle roll?
Probably not good.
Volpo's rolling surprisingly poorly.
51. Okay, that's good. Oh wait, actually, I've got 51. Can I flip that to 15? Because my rage is dumb folks with advantage.
He's not looking particularly intelligent at this point. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you give Volpo a decent crack.
Okay.
And he turns with a surprisingly canine whine and then lunges at you.
Well, it sucks to be me, I guess.
So taking
Well-
another swing.
Well,
Dr.
this
A, give me
happens-
pursuit to knock that car out of the way.
Ooh. For my second swing, I got 25, which are
49.
So you can flip flop your. Oh, you did it once.
yeah.
Okay.
But hang on, sorry. Yeah, my struggle is 30, so a 25 would hit.
Nice.
Very nice.
I'm going all Gordon Freeman in this guy's face.
He is going full loop guru on you. You hit him. He comes in and sinks his teeth into your patella.
Ow.
It's
Do I need that?
incredibly painful. And gross. There is a full-grown naked man going at your kneecap with his teeth and, is grabbing at your hand. It's surreally gross. All right, how'd Dr. A do driving?
Very poorly. I got 49.
So that's not a success?
No, not a success.
All right.
I'm not good at pursuing.
At this point, the guard comes out. Let's see how the guard's doing.
Oh, am I still conscious or am I unconscious? Just Karen.
You're still conscious.
Okay.
Well,
What you gonna do?
and somewhere in here, I was hoping to have Cloissoné run out of the car screaming for her mom. Looking at my
Your mom's in the passenger seat.
right, but I was misunderstanding. I thought there was like a back zone where we were, for the cargo truck.
You can go to the front of the truck through
Yeah,
the inside of
Yeah.
it.
If you get to the front of the truck, then yeah, I've run up there to be with my mom.
Okay, you get there just in time to see Man-Steel shoot her again. Oh wait, no, Man-Steel was going to shoot the driver. That was sensible. But there's another gun going off at some point. So let's see. All right. Yeah, you got hit. He got it. You're like, how did he shoot me in the leg from there? That's a weird, it must have gone through the engine compartment, but not hit the engine, or maybe it hit the engine and bounced off and went through my,
The car's
So-
still running.
The car's still running. Kim, give me a fitness roll.
Yeah. Let's see how this goes. Oh, 15 this time. Actually
right.
passed. It's
The
exciting.
only place you can think of to run is to go get over the fence, which you can do because your arms are so strong, and go down the cliff.
Sounds
The
good to
only
me.
safe place.
I'm behind a fence.
Yeah,
Can't
behind
go
a
through-
stone wall. Bullets
Yes,
can't go
okay.
through stones. They can't go through stones.
It just makes sense. Kim is hustling on her hands and arms towards the fence. Then.
All right. So you guys see Man-Steel coming up towards the front of the car. You know, he's like aiming at Kim, aiming at Angel, aiming at Kim, aiming at Angel, and then there's a crack and he just falls over. And out comes the security guard, gun smoking, yelling in French.
Ugh.
All right, should we call it there?
We should probably.
I think we might have to.
Yeah, it's
Cloissoné, drive.
yeah, the car's not going anywhere.
I don't know that. I'm bleeding in the passenger seat.
Yeah,
We're all bleeding in the various seats.
everyone is messed up. What? Okay, take a minute, each of you, just a very brief moment, because the cops are going to separate you. You're all going to the hospital.
Hmm?
You are going to be interviewed separately. So, all right, how should we do this? Everybody but Dr. A, can you turn off your headphones for a second?
Before we do one thing real quick. Anybody that looks in the back is going to see Kim in the back of the van.
Yeah.
Not a giant head.
Yeah,
As long
for
as
a
that effect
while.
lasts. For a while.
Okay.
How long does that work for?
I don't know. It's the first time I've
Yeah,
done it,
it's
so I have
never
no
been
idea.
done. You guys have no way of knowing how long it lasts.
So if we can gimmick some way of having somebody take our unconscious, very heavy friend Kim to safety, we still might have a chance to pull this out. Turning off my headphones now.
If you want to shout that to somebody, please do, because Kim is by defense by now.
Somebody's been I mean, this condition is very serious. He's been shot and petrified.
All right, everyone's got their headphones off except for Dr. A. Dr. A, when you come to in the hospital with your leg, stitched up, actually, they can probably do yours with local anesthesia. They don't put you under, but they do chain you to the gurney. What do you tell the cops when they're like, why were you in a gunfight in a museum parking lot at 1:56 a.m.?
Can I?
Were you robbing the museum?
I'm debating if what would happen if I tried to explain to them everything.
You could try that.
I will, with the kind of hope that it will. I would like to try and. Well, I'll tell them about how everything started going wrong in 2003.
All
I'm
right.
gonna start there.
You're just gonna go with a crazy, straight up truth. All right.
I
Take your
don't have
headphones off.
I don't have a good lie skill, so I'm
All
going
right.
for it.
Yeah. All right.
Yellow.
All right, Jesse, you're up. What do you tell the cops? You come to in the hospital. No, again, you don't have to be sedated, although your knee is messed up, and they're like, "Are these human? Is this a human bite mark? Did someone bite? Wow, they got all the way through the tendon that holds your kneecap in place in front.
I was
You're
gonna
gonna be on crutches for a while, son."
I was gonna say there's no way I can just. I was gonna ask if I could escape before the interview because I'm afraid of going to jail, but I guess
yeah,
not.
you can try that. No, all you have to do is roll to get out of the handcuffs.
Oh well. Okay, yeah, I can do that contortion. I can do that contortion deal with myself, can't I?
Oh yeah. Give me the roll.
Let's see how it goes. Oh, that's not looking good. Okay, it's a 90. Oh yeah, I'm afraid of going to jail. Can I flip that to escape?
Yep.
To a 9.
Yeah, all you have to do is dislocate your own thumb.
Yep.
See you in hell, bitches. So yeah, you hobble out of the hospital into the Quebecois night with your hand swollen, your knee completely immobilized, and a pair of stolen crutches. All right, yeah.
And yep, I go and find that moped and tell,
All right.
and hope I can find, I'll find another local carnival and see if I can get somebody to patch me up in the back of the bumper cars.
All right. Cloissoné,
Okay.
I'm back.
what do you tell the cops when you're the only one who didn't get hurt?
I didn't get hurt at all.
And they're like, what exactly happened at the museum?
So I noticed my Child of Dirtbag Origins gives me, of course I can clam up, which feels
All right,
like
so you just
something
clamming up?
feels like something I might lean on here. I think I'd say something like those two weird men. They wanted the big head.
All right. How did the big head get in your van?
I don't know. Clam up.
Okay. Give me a roll on Child of Dirtbag Origins to hang tough.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness. It's a 0-1.
Okay. All right. So you're just like, okay. And then they ask you in English and you're like, quoi? And then you're like,
huh?
How do you say? I forgot the word for lawyer in French. I really feel that I shouldn't speak about this without a public. I'm traumatized. I don't.
I saw my mom get shot, and you're asking me questions. Like,
Okay,
what is
yeah.
this?
So you convince them that you are too traumatized to understand whatever the hell happened. It's just a blank. All right.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they find you.
Yeah.
You get to the bottom of the hill.
My one roll of the entire season.
And you crawl out onto the street bleeding and back shot, and the people who live in the house that you show up at have heard these loud noises and look out at the back, and there's this woman crawling out of the woods 20 minutes later bleeding everywhere. So yeah, what do you tell the police?
The police, when they show up, I'm still conscious.
They show up for you after you've been operated on.
Oh, okay, sure.
So you're coming around, and there is this grizzled police detective saying, Miss Ibarra, so your van was found shot to hell outside a museum that was being burgled last night. Why don't you tell me what happened?
This is what I'm thinking. Because this was such a traumatic replay of the first time, Kim is first of all thinking like, "Oh, this was the favor. The head was mocking me. This is the cosmic price." Okay, got it. Sure. I'm gonna try to do like drawing on my Marine survive, evade, resist, escape training. I'm gonna try and hold out as if like ISIS has me in a sweater, and I'm saying I want a lawyer in Morse code on the sweater. I would like to roll on Marine to hold out until a lawyer, like I need a lawyer and not say nothing else.
Yeah, I don't think Marines, well, to just stay shut up, sure.
Like counter-interrogation.
All right.
Needless to say, I got a 94. And
Okay. They're like, stolen property was found in your van. And you just stay shut up, and they're like, okay. You're tough. We get it. All right. And finally, Karen. What do you tell the cops? You get shot. In your case, you wake up in a hospital bed. You're handcuffed to the rail, and there's a police detective looking at you and saying, "You're dressed awfully warm for a late spring night, even in Quebec." But that's not really my main question. So, what were you doing in the museum?
Sorry, I had my mute on. Out of character, what was I wearing? What am I wearing now?
Oh, hospital gown. Oh, God.
The worst.
They cut your clothes off.
Sure, they did.
You've been tabooed.
Clothes. Yep.
You're emptied.
Yeah, that's all right. Stuff happens.
Wow.
It was that or fly away, and I didn't want to fly away. I seemed the cheater's way out.
Yeah. And so the police, what do you tell the police detective who wants to know what you were doing in the museum and what the hell was happening with all those dudes shooting guns?
The museum. I was outside the museum. I'd been to the museum the day before and the day before that, but
Why were you in a museum parking lot at 2:30 a.m.?
I was catching an Uber.
Were you now?
I was.
Can I see your phone?
Some lunatic. I don't know where my phone is. You tell me where my phone is.
And
I don't
they
even know where
pull
my
your
clothes
phone
are.
out.
Great.
If you can unlock this, I can just confirm your story with Uber.
Well, you could, but it wasn't my Uber. My daughter takes care of all of it for me. I don't know anything about technology.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll check her phone.
Sure, you could check
She
her
seems
phone.
pretty deeply traumatized, I gotta say.
Well, I don't blame
What
her.
did you
frankly.
drag her into?
Well, we were out enjoying the nightlife with my daughter. I thought we were being perfectly safe in your fine Canadian city.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, some lunatic in a gun pulled up, started shooting. There was a van. I took cover behind the van. I think
Did
our
you
friend,
now?
yeah, I think our friend was there. You'd recognize her. She's in a wheelchair.
You're aware that giving a false statement to police is a felony.
Okay. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
So
I
you're,
certainly didn't shoot anyone. I didn't commit any crime. I may have been there, but that's it.
okay. Give me that lie roll.
Sure. What my lie skill is. Or could it be status? Would this work for status? Maybe not. Like I'm far too good to be in this place with you. I'm a lot classier than you.
That's a hard sell with 2 bullets in your chest. Was it 2 or 1?
One. It was one,
Just
to be
one.
fair.
That's a hard sell with no charges, a bullet in your chest, wearing one of those gowns that leaves your butt flapping out.
No, fair enough. That's true. I don't have a lot of status here. Oh, I could play the I'm an American card. Do you know who I am? I'm
That's a little bit of a double or nothing.
yeah. It seems like a fun move, though, as opposed to
So,
just lying,
well,
which is
tell me what
boring.
happened with your lie, because we got to
I'm
wrap
going to
this
roll
up.
that. Sorry.
Yeah.
75.
Yeah, they don't
versus-
believe
yeah, no.
you. Okay, so the stories they got, here's what the police know. They have a American electrician in custody who definitely shot 2 people. They have a man now in a lockdown ward who definitely bit someone's kneecap off.
Horrible.
While
Off.
naked. Well, not off, but close, but more off than you want a kneecap to be. They have an American medical doctor telling them that he and his friends came north to steal a giant head because it is of crucial mystical importance.
Oh, Doc.
The truth? Really? They have a mysterious man they can't identify who vanished from the hospital, despite being down one kneecap, leaving behind only a single cuff attached to a gurney. They have an innocent teenage girl who is clearly too traumatized to remember anything clearly, but they're willing to accept that she was just, kind of a hostage. They've got now, it's Kim's van. So yeah, it's probably looking pretty, but they're mostly concerned with Mansteel and Volpo as the primary bad actors. But yeah, y'all are probably gonna be in jail for a while awaiting trial, except for Jesse and Cloissoné, who managed to sneak out. Oh, you guys can hear me, right? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, were we supposed to to not listen to other people's testimonies, or?
Yeah, the idea was that I didn't want you to.
Oh, dang. I missed out on some fun now. Oh.
You could. Yeah, I was just covering what everyone got. So, oops. All right. So, yeah, I think that's where we're going to have to call it.
Yeah.
The head gets recovered and put back in the museum. But because there is some question about when it was moved and by whom and how, and there are people who are like, no, there was a woman, there was the woman was in the van. No, the woman was at the bottom of the hill. And, but she owned the van. Well, that's why she was in it. Then but how could she be in the two places at once? Well, where did the head come from? Well, we don't know, but it wound up in the van. Well, how could it have been put in the van? So there's just a lot that doesn't add up to the cops. They're going to get you on breaking in, but they cannot definitively prove that you stole anything.
Who are they going to get on breaking in?
Probably just the doctor and, the doctor, Jesse, and Kim.
Oh.
But yeah, so you're probably gonna do, but yeah. So it's all gonna come down to your lawyers. But for now, the one person who was most afraid of going to jail didn't. So Cloissoné got out. You can all console yourself with that. And I'm just. My picture is...
you didn't say Karen went to jail.
Karen went to jail. Well, let's see. Did they see...
I wasn't on camera inside the museum. I was invisible until I got out.
All right.
I was shot. I didn't shoot at anyone.
However, the doctor testified that you were there, but the doctor also testified that the head is made of magic. So,
yeah, no. He's clearly insane. He's on his own drugs. Sorry, Doc. Sorry.
He's a madman and irresponsible, and his breath smells bad. I'm so sorry, Doc. I'm sorry. I'm doing what I have to do for my daughter.
It was a drive-by shooting like they have in America all the time, and I guess this plumber who shot me didn't know what a country he was in.
Well, don't worry. It's Canadian prison. I'm sure it'll be velvet cushions and all the...
Not in Quebec.
Has meth made it to Canada yet? Surely not. I'm just picturing Jesse crawling into the backyard, uprooting his... You failed me!
You're alive! You're not in jail!
Oh.
Cloissoné wouldn't go to jail.
Yeah, no, Cloissoné's in the clear. She critted on her lie roll with... I have no idea what was going on. I was just so frightened.
Yeah.
So Karen, It's up in the air, but her chances are pretty good. Dr. A might wind up institutionalized. Yeah, and I don't know about Kim.
Kim might not survive. Let's start with that. Whether or not Kim's going to be able to walk or be active PT. Oh boy.
Yeah.
No VA help this time either, probably.
It's rough. Canadian healthcare, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe it'll be better this time. And Cloissoné got free, silver lining.
Cloissoné and Jesse made it out, so.
I'm sure that we can get out of prison and free the rest of you if we have any sort of appropriate incentive to do so, which we probably don't, because you got me shot, you jerks!
All right.
So
that was the first session of Bring Me the Head of the Comte de Saint-Germain. At least one of you will proceed to the second round. So, yeah, good luck, and thank you for a fun game.